Alright, so we're going to open up episode 3. Now, we didn't change because it's the same day.
Oh no, same day recording. You're getting a 2
Same
for
day. You're getting a 2 for 1, right? And we're going to try to show off our knowledge of what we've learned over the past month.
Cool.
Now, the beauty of this is I don't know when we're going to make another video. It could be a monthly thing. It could be a weekly thing. We would like it to be a daily thing. Because we were like, a daily would be cool.
If you could just accommodate us for travel, that would be great.
Yeah, real fun. But we have aspirations for it. And if anything goes, like if anything fails, we'll just start a second channel and we'll just talk about whatever we want to talk about.
We'll just start over.
We'll just start over because we'll talk about maps.
Sure.
We'll talk about maps.
Science and geography. That's what it's going to be.
It's going to be science, geography. Joe Buck's going to appear. It's going to be...
It's going to be 0 for 3 for me.
0 for 3. Sure. But, no, this is episode 3. Thank you for joining.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. We're going to
bring it together.
We're going to bring it together. We're going to put it together and make it pretty. Try not to fade off the camera angle.
Back in and out.
Back in and out, yeah. Alright, so we're going to do this thing. We're going to go like the top... I lied. We're not going top 10 anything. I'm thinking top 10 because that's a classic move. We're going to do the 10 game mark or end of the month. Now
out of the box.
Out of the box. We got 4 more days in this month. So I can think.
Sure. It's almost November already.
It's almost November. Yeah, I can pull up a calendar. 4 more days. We got today.
Math. There we go.
4 more days and then we'll hit November. And I think in November we're probably going to make the amendments to our list.
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit.
Quite a bit since the last month's been a wild ride. Ooh.
It's been a wild wild.
It's been real wild. I know. Speaking of wild. So anyways, we got the top 10. Not top 10.
Going with it again.
Going with it again. We got the 10 game mark at the end of the month, which of course has been like over 40 games played in the entire league. Whew. Crazy, but everyone's at around 11, 10, or 9 now.
9 to 11 games-ish.
That's fine.
About an eighth of the way there.
Yeah. And then we have the season surprises so far, right?
Eighth of the way there. Time to freak out everyone in their fan base.
Dude, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that because I'm not forgiving you on that. Then,
come on.
No. And then we got the hit and suspensions things, like people hitting each other, which is part of the sport with suspensions.
If you didn't know that, there is hitting in the NHL.
Shocking.
It's ridiculous. Happens almost every game. Shocker.
So, that's gotta be awful. So, season surprises, hit suspensions, right? I found this to be interesting. Or I've heard it to be interesting.
It's interesting sometimes.
It's interesting. The policing of the game itself, right? And that's going to be a wild ride. Not like, wow, that's crazy. Just bear with us on the tangents.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to make this wild.
So it comes down to fighting in the NHL. Does it still have a place?
I say yes.
I say yes. But we'll make our points later on. Back up why we say yes.
Someone will have to say no in this room.
I'm not saying no. I don't know. I've never been in a fight, so...
But yeah, I'll lead with the policing of the game after the hit suspensions. Not just because of the hitting and suspensions, but because I find it to be one of the more
it's kind of the
independent of
like
the sports.
The average hit you would see, it's kind of like, I don't know, something you don't see as often anymore.
Checking?
And how it should... just the type of hit.
Oh, the type of hit. Open eyes.
Matheson in general.
That's going to be deleted out of the game. That's going to be getting out. And then we're going to talk about the sports trend. Because I figured we could go from policing, the topic of the policing of your own game, to sports trends across a broader area. Because we're not just going to be talking about hockey. We're going to be talking about... Because I asked you this, do you think everything's getting more aggressive?
I wouldn't say more aggressive. I think, I don't know, maybe players' playing styles are getting more aggressive. Not reckless, but they're playing on that edge, maybe. And because the player safety has gotten so far along in multiple sports that it's becoming more of a hot button issue.
Oh,
I guess.
we'll talk about how it's going to be aggressive. I wrote aggressive coaching, and then we're going to talk about some of the rules in there. And just for fun, we're going to talk about third jerseys, because who doesn't love a good third jersey?
It's been the season of third jerseys.
Look, the NFL, I said this earlier, and I think I said this in the first podcast, the NFL has done a terrible job on Thursday night football. Not just in the game itself, but with the color rush.
I don't know. I didn't see much of it last season.
You didn't see on Thursday night.
I played hockey Thursday night.
That's right.
I get to miss out on the color rush.
Color rush, they all wear one solid color. You mean you can go back and...
green.
No, like solid white, solid bright red. It's like their third color of the team, right? So like...
Their version of a third jersey.
It's their version of a third jersey.
Color, because the pants match the jersey.
But that's the whole point of the color rush. Right, if you're the away team and you're wearing white...
It's all white.
It's all white. And it was like, that's a terrible concept.
I liked it for LA in the Stadium Series a couple of years ago. People disagree with me. I like the white hockey pants.
No, that was clean. Jersey. No, that was clean.
It was different. Don't usually see white hockey pants.
Yeah, we're going to talk about third jerseys, and then if we're up to it, we might talk about a little bit of science. And that one's going to be a stretch.
Oh, please, for the love of God, no. No science, no math, no Joe Buck. Those are my three things. Put it on a t-shirt.
That's going to be on your Tinder dating profile.
That's perfect.
It's perfect.
That's the bio.
That's the bio.
You meet these three criteria.
We're good. So again, we're going to be... I don't know what our episodes are going to be like.
They're a little bit...
They're out there.
Just give opinions. We talk.
That's all
it
is.
Goes off a little bit sometimes, but we always reel it back in.
We will talk with you guys if you guys follow us, subscribe, and if you hit the little bell notification... Then you'll know. Then you'll know when we upload, because it seems like it's a monthly pace.
Because we don't know.
We don't know. We'll push the information out there.
It comes out when it comes out.
It comes out on Twitter. I mean, I think our Twitter is the most active thing out of all of this.
I don't know. I haven't checked it. Is that bad?
I don't check Twitter.
I haven't been on Twitter in quite a while.
A hot minute, indeed.
It's my news. So
that's your news. Yeah, I get mine from YouTube.
Yeah.
It's
those are real sources. Sometimes
I get it off the internet
because it's got that check on there. It's probably real.
It's real. It's verified, so you know it's real.
Easy come, easy go.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead, jump in. Right, so it's the end of the month. We're at the 10-game marker.
Been some. Not so surprising teams, some surprising teams.
You happy with it? You happy? Or is everyone where you thought they would be? I know you're. Oh, we're gonna have to pull this up, aren't we?
Of course not. I'll pull it up on the phone or something.
I mean, we got the setup here. Log on. I forgot I had this up, and I was like, oh, we don't need this anymore. Silly me.
Of course, there's been surprises. There's always going to be in the first 10 games that may tail off certain teams, but some of it may stick through. Who knows?
Do you want the division or you want the wild card?
Just give me the wild card.
You want the wild card?
I don't know who's in, who's out.
Who's
10
in?
games in, we know who's going to the playoffs. It's the real deal, guys.
The real deal. I mean, I would say the only thing that I'm surprised, like super surprised at, well, I'm surprised at a couple things, but looking at the standings where they are right now, 10 games in exactly for Carolina. Pittsburgh's played 8, so I don't really count. But right now, Carolina's 1.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the Metropolitan. Like, playoffs...
They're second in the... maybe fourth.
Who?
Toronto and Boston have got 14 points. Carolina's sitting at 13.
Yeah.
But still, number 1 in the Metro. Who saw that coming?
And I said Buffalo, and Buffalo as a wild card, like, they're not awful.
Mm-hmm.
They decent.
They decent.
You like that English. They decent. They're 10 games played. They had 6 wins, 4 losses, 12 points, right? They're only a -2 goal differential, and I think that's really fixable.
It's kind of weird. 3-2, both home and away. That's kind of interesting. So they're kind of even.
They're balanced. I mean, it's 10 games in, right? So you're gonna see
small sample.
Small sample. The other surprise I had, a really big surprise, Ottawa.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
Brady Tkachuk, man.
Spicy. They're at 9 games, right?
Yeah, but he's out for the next month, so. That may hurt the offense a little bit.
It may hurt the.
But I mean, they're higher than I expected them to be first 10 games of the season.
That shellacking last night they took was not good. 6 goals.
No,
not a good look. But yeah, they're definitely higher than what I thought. Philadelphia has let me down a little bit. I'll say that. The Islanders too.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting them to stay.
No,
fifth in the wild card.
Trying to learn. They're without Tavares now. Detroit, I'm pretty much where I expected them to be. Kind of, maybe not dead last, but around the bottom. I expected the Rangers to be around there too.
I expected the Rangers to be lower. Florida, I wanted them to play better.
Look at that Detroit goal differential,
dude. Detroit, that first
20.
That first game,
bad.
Dude, they just cannot score. Yeah. Like, they can't score. They've had plenty of... If you watch them, they have plenty of opportunities. They've had, like, 2 or 3 breakaways. They have had posts. They just can't score.
They've got no luck, and they've got no finish.
That was like when Arizona had Domi and Duclair. Everyone's like, oh, my God, they suck. And I'm like, no, they just keep hitting posts. Yeah, like, that's nothing you can do.
Always makes me think of Val in Dallas.
Yeah,
all Russian, no finish.
All Russian, no finish.
There it is. First dad joke of the game.
Oh, goodness. But, yeah, I'm happy with the East fairly. Tampa, Toronto, and Boston.
In Atlantic, it's the way it finished out last year. So.
I'm not expecting too much.
I didn't expect Montreal to be so high. You were high on Montreal coming into the season.
I told you they're going to come in hot. They're going to come in fast.
Surprised.
You were surprised?
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, they did bring in Domi. They lost Pacioretty, Galchenyuk, but bringing Domi in to replace Galchenyuk, that gives you a little bit of youth in the lineup.
Oh, dude, I'm surprised about their goal differential right here. +5. Well, I mean, you shouldn't be really surprised, but
Carey Price.
Yeah. But they're 5-2-2, and that's the surprise because everyone's like Montreal's going to have a bit of a rough going, but I think they can.
So far.
Yeah, they can definitely start hanging with Boston. Now, Toronto, they were opening night. They were giving Toronto all they wanted.
Oh yeah. For sure. They played him in that game, to me.
Yeah. Third period was all Montreal, except for the last minute.
Yeah.
And then overtime.
I watched, I'm like, oh, Montreal lost that game. They dominated it.
Oh, no. Austin Matthews struck.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Austin Matthews and JT on the same line.
Dude, it's not good. Columbus. I don't know what to make of Columbus yet. Again, this is such a small sample size, but you're 10 games in. It's a good time to start.
A little bit of where you're gonna kind of be at. In the season. 5-4. When teams are sitting around 500, you really don't know where they're gonna go from there.
You can see who's playing. Like Philly. Look, that's my only issue with Philly. You're too good to be all over the place. Yeah, and I don't. That's my only issue with Philly. I think that's why I put him at a wild card. I can't remember now. I know we talked about it last video, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, if we move over to the West, I know we're both looking at this TV thing. If you're wondering what the setup is, it's a laptop to a TV.
It's like better we're looking this way. Huh?
Yeah.
We're letting you in.
Letting you in. We're trying to make it to where we're connecting with you.
Even though we're not there.
So we can be together. Now, the best way to connect, of course, is over social media. We're always going to continue to plug that until
someone follows us.
Yes.
We're sitting in a big goose egg, people. I think I haven't been on the social media.
We have 5 views. I told somebody like, "Hey, I got it up," but I wasn't extremely proud of the first video.
It was a rough cut.
It was a rough. Oh, it was a rough go around.
So rough. Skype, you know.
It was like bumpy Santa. It was not good.
Oh my god. Shout out. Shout out to Bumpy Santa.
Yep.
If people don't understand, you won't understand. So we're just going to move on without any context.
We're just going to try to connect you in and make our own jokes together. Now, we have Nashville. That's exactly where I want them to be. Winnipeg at a 3 seed. Now, I don't have a problem with that because, again, it's 10 games in.
I mean, they're still 7-3-1.
My issue with this right here, right now, Colorado has 2.
I didn't see that coming.
No, yeah.
I saw them, not maybe as a wild card team, but I saw them finishing as a non-playoff team. That's just me.
I was like, they have enough talent, just whether or not they're disciplined. Now, if we go over to go down,
Pacific is it was all over the place.
I have San Jose going in at 2. I'm okay with them at 1. I had San Jose going 1.
Yeah,
I had them going 2, but I'm fine with them going 1. My Vancouver.
Yeah, I didn't see Vancouver coming out. I mean, they're 6-5.
6-5. But
that's still to be above 500 in the first 11 games for Vancouver
no,
with
no.
the rookies and the young lineup that they have. Which, like you said earlier, they have a good mix of veterans.
Yeah.
So, just still.
I'm just surprised because at home they're 2-1. Okay, well we can wait 7 more games.
Yeah.
Away, 4-4. Like you're gonna kind of pan out to be even. Fine.
It's like if you play pretty good at home and you're 500 on the road, you'll probably be a playoff team.
Yeah. Now the beauty of this stat marker right here is you can do the last 10 games, and that's going to be super helpful if we ever make another video in 20 games from now.
I'm sure we will.
Because then we can look back and find it. But I'm surprised Vancouver's there.
Yeah.
At 2. Edmonton. Okay with them at 3. But if you've been watching them play, it's been McDavid.
Yeah. And that's it.
And that's pretty much your team. Now, I know Crosby and McDavid put on a show the other night, and that was...
No.
But that
highly
was...
anticipated.
Highly anticipated. And then wild card, you have Chicago.
That came out of nowhere for me, once again.
Surprise for me, too. Minnesota has 2, which I'm like, fair. And then right outside the bubble is Calgary. Now, my issue with Calgary is they're about a 500 team. Fair. That's fair. I'm thinking they're going to be around there.
Anaheim.
That opening night, though, that was awful. Rough. And then their power, like, my biggest issue, 0-for-7.
That's bad.
On a power play. Like, we're not even looking at their percentages or anything.
That's for one game.
That's for one game. Yeah, that's for one. That's not like 3 games.
That's a good week for a team.
Yeah. Like, Calgary, then it's Anaheim, which is... I know they're gonna move up. Dallas is sitting right there. Vegas, and Vegas started off a little slow.
Yeah,
That's okay.
They didn't get as much. Like they said, they look slower than they came out of the gun last year.
Yeah,
They don't have as much speed, which they've dealt with. New guys coming in, Pacioretty and all them, suspensions and whatnot. But maybe not having the focus on them or having more pressure on them, I should say, this year than they came in last year. It's like, we have nothing to lose. We don't have anything. We're coming from a clean slate. We haven't played a game in the league yet.
Super Bowl hangover? Because most teams that make it to like the championship championship hungover, even if you didn't win.
Yeah, I kind of believe in that, but I'm just saying they come in with more eyes on them this year. I think last year they didn't. There's no expectations.
This year's.
And this year it's like, well, you made it to the Stanley Cup final. Can they come back and repeat? But it's kind of like you said, that hangover a little bit. They play all the way into June. That's probably going to hang on some teams.
I don't know, we'll see. And then Arizona, not dead last. Happy about that.
Surprise.
St. Louis.
LA sitting at the bottom. They have struggled over the last 2 weeks.
LA is always near the bottom of stuff. But St. Louis and LA...
LA seems to come in and surprise towards the end of the season. You haven't seen them all year long. They're sitting around the wild card maybe, and they end up finishing in the top 3.
But by November, you know who's making playoffs.
Most of the time.
Right. Football, it's the end of October.
I don't know. I would say maybe towards mid-December, around the Christmas break for hockey.
You would know? I think by November.
I don't know. Maybe the beginning of December.
Yeah.
Get around towards the end of November. You kind of get 20 games out of the way. Or not the halfway point, what was it, 3/4? About 25 games in, you kind of pretty much know where you're standing.
Right around American Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I should plug that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Canadians. Ours is better.
Yeah. Right around American Thanksgiving, you know who's kind of making playoffs. Like, okay, if LA's still 9 in Thanksgiving, not making it. Not making it. St. Louis, I had so much high hopes for St. Louis. Healthy again. Their goaltending is you don't know what you're going to get. Same with Philly because you never know who's showing up. Yeah. And I expected Arizona to be up there, but we'll see. It's not terrible. They're not awful.
Not awful.
I'm just so mad about Chicago.
We're going to talk about good surprises.
Good surprises? Carolina's a great surprise for me. Chicago would be a good surprise.
Chicago, too. I mean, Chicago and Chicago 2.0
yeah,
over in Carolina.
Dude, Vancouver was a pleasant surprise, but I know that's not going to last.
Yeah, I mean, they're still sitting around 500. So.
Edmonton is kind of a surprise. Anaheim usually picks up steam later on.
Yeah, they're more of a second half of the season kind of team.
But Montreal was a good surprise. Ottawa was a very pleasant surprise. Because you were looking for a good storyline.
Yeah.
And now you got one in Ottawa.
They've got some speed. They've got good young players. They just have to play.
They're going to fall off. It's a long
I
season.
mean, just play their game. But they got to stick with it.
I'm not putting my whole basket of eggs,
Oh, no.
right, into a young player. I'm not doing it. Buffalo was a pleasant
I
surprise.
think they're rebuilding. They're still gonna. It's gonna take a couple of years to get there.
No doubt.
Obviously.
But with the way Matt Duchene's been going off.
I mean,
Trading.
back to Colorado.
Back to... No, they're not going to
that
take
bridge
him.
is burned so bad.
Dude, it would have been so funny last night if he got a hat trick. Because, like, as soon as he hit the crossbar on that, everyone was...
It's not gonna happen.
Boo! It was great. I loved it. Yeah, I don't know. My pleasant surprise is Carolina. Look, storm's coming.
Storm's coming, man.
We had that hurricane warning. They had that hurricane warning earlier in the year. And I go, man, they're going to get hit by a hurricane. Little did I know.
It's like, why do you think the storms have been so bad this year?
It was in Carolina. It was heading for Carolina. Now, I know that's a terrible joke because one of the ports got, like, demolished.
We're talking Raleigh.
But we're talking Raleigh.
We're talking inside. I don't know the name of the arena.
PNC.
PNC. I was thinking. I was like, all these guys, their arenas change names so many times.
Now, the great thing is like, we want to travel. We want to travel to go watch games.
After these first 10 games, I definitely want to go to North Carolina.
And I just want to watch a good competitive game. Not like, oh, it's a nice stadium, we went. No, we're going to go watch.
I don't want to go to a great stadium and watch terrible hockey.
Yeah, we're going to go watch. This is definitely, like, right now, prime time. Anaheim plays San Jose.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good game to go watch, right?
Any of the California teams. LA, Anaheim, San Jose.
Yeah, the California teams playing each other always bring their best.
Go to the Staples Center.
Yeah. You got to plan. But we could also do Nashville and Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a good matchup. Now, we go to Stars games all the time.
Got to go to the Peg.
We got to go.
But I don't know. It's hard to get in there, man. They got that waiting list.
There's a wait list, but you want to go when they're good.
It's like Fenway.
Yeah. Dude, it's
It's
ridiculous.
the Fenway of Canada.
Right now, Toronto, probably
Besides
prime.
Toronto. Oof.
Dude,
That's pricey.
that's pricey. Like, we raise enough money, we could do it.
It's like Canadians.
Save up enough money.
Bring that dollar amount down
Like,
a little bit more.
Washington and Pittsburgh and Philly, good games to go watch. Like, that's our goal. But you don't want to go watch Arizona, right? Ideally, you don't want to go drive out to Arizona or St. Louis and watch some terrible people play.
I don't know. You don't want to see like St. Louis and Buffalo or somebody like that.
No. You want, like, I want a good matchup where I know, like, you could fight the other team.
I don't want teams on the second nights of back-to-backs. I want them coming in fresh.
That's a
Maybe
terrible...
some history. Something happened earlier in the season.
Dude, again, Nashville, Winnipeg fits the description. You know you're going to get some goals.
It's going to be a playoff game.
You know you're going to get some good saves. And you might get a line brawl. And
You
it's
get
a
huge
win.
hits.
You can
Yeah,
win.
The box is filled up before the first period is
That's
over.
fine. But who does Carolina hate? Like, Carolina's going to be a good game to watch.
I don't think
But they
really
don't
have that. Maybe
clash.
I think they were trying to make it one. Maybe last year, the year before, is like Buffalo.
Maybe.
Carolina and Buffalo. I'm like, I just don't see the rivalry. Back in the day, like Carolina and Edmonton, when they were going to the finals,
Yeah, but
you had bigger guys on the team.
but you got to be in your own division to make it a rivalry.
Yeah,
And you got to hate
I
them enough.
love Pittsburgh and Columbus, just because of the playoffs.
And that'd be a good
Makes
game
it
to
so
go watch.
much better during the regular season.
Columbus is that kind of team that it's like they're decent enough to where they give Pittsburgh the fits.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about it. And we thought Montreal was not going to be good. Well, they'll be all right, but they're not.
Yeah,
They're blazing. They're a good time to go watch. And I want to see them play Boston.
that could be good for
Boston, Toronto matchup.
Columbus, Carolina.
That might be good.
one.
Yeah. But, again, at the start of this, you want to travel. We're not thinking, Carolina would be a nice drive to go get a ticket. It's not bad. Tennessee's about an 18-hour drive. You go up a little further.
It's far.
Anything
is far for us.
You want to fly? You could fly to
Probably.
Carolina. I mean, we
I'm
haven't
not
done that.
driving a day and a half to go see a hockey game.
Dude.
That's just me.
Not a day and a half. And the best part is this is the other thing. Because I'm all about this Carolina thing, and I'm about traditions. looked into this. I heard they barbecue before the game.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you got
No,
Carolina
they
barbecue.
yeah, they set up barbecue like outside. They tailgate.
Oh yeah.
They essentially tailgate. Now, have you been to a tailgate? You ever tailgate before?
Probably baseball, maybe concerts.
Concerts,
More
yeah.
likely.
I mean, it's Texas.
I don't go to that many football games.
It's Texas. You've tailgated before in Texas. Now,
Yeah.
we tailgate for football all the time, and that's exciting. Not like
And baseball when it's early in the season or if it's playoffs.
you got time off, you get some ribs on there, get some burgers, get some hot dogs.
That's much higher effort than I'm willing to go for. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but it's all about it, right? They got that out there. College football is known for tailgating because all you do is just essentially drink, and then you go into the stadium and
It's
you
like
just
college
yell.
Football, you never know what you're going to get. It could be a 50-0 game.
Dude,
Could be a competitive.
you know what you're gonna get. You know what you're gonna get when
I
you're
don't
walking.
know. I'm not a big college football guy.
Yeah.
so.
No, I'm telling you, you gotta watch Alabama, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, and they're like, "Wow, you're listing a lot of SEC teams." Yeah, because no one likes each other in the because no one likes each other in the SEC. Ohio, you missed Ohio State, and no, you haven't missed that yet. You can watch Ohio State and Michigan.
I had a kid from our high school that went to. Is he with? Yeah, he's with Ohio State.
No, Buckeyes. You can
Freshman.
watch Ohio State and Michigan this year. Michigan and Michigan State. I don't know if you saw the news on that. They almost fought each other. They're
Maybe.
fighting before the game, tearing up the logo in the center.
Yeah. People stomping and
Yeah.
putting everything else. You
Yeah,
know, disrespecting.
disrespected. But
Plant that flag. That seems to be the trend these days in college football. Who knows?
yeah,
I don't know. I just think there's. I would love to see Toronto, Boston. I think that would be because they have the playoff history. Obviously, Toronto has been knocked down many times by Boston the last couple of years.
I'm telling Toronto's really going to give it to Boston this year. I don't think they've played yet, have they? They haven't.
I don't think so. I picked Toronto to beat Boston in the playoffs last year. Did they play each other in the playoffs?
No, you.
Do I keep confusing it with Tampa?
You do something. I don't need.
I do a lot of things. I forget
I don't
once the season is over. These playoffs were some of the best I've watched in years, so I forget. The matchups were crazy.
Here we go. We can look at the schedule. Let's do that. We have this handy dandy device. Now keep
the
it
internet. It's crazy.
called the internet. Yeah, you get all your facts and news from it, and it's all true.
It's all true.
Now, I'm telling the first game on Wednesday, right? Perfect opener. Ottawa shocked them the next one, and the Toronto and Chicago.
That was one of the best games I've ever watched.
But it's good. Dallas was decent. Detroit put up a good fight.
Washington.
Toronto really has Washington's number.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to see. I think I caught part of this 18th game where they played Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh just wins faceoffs. And that's my only really big issue. No defense from Toronto. Iffy goaltending at times. And they're not really winning a lot of faceoffs. But they have not played Boston. They won't play Boston. Where's the month? There we go. They won't next month. Let's see what they got going on here. Oh, we open with Dallas on Thursday. What a beauty that will be. I'm excited. Dallas going to go up there. And Carolina. What is this one?
Boston, 26.
You
after
can
Thanksgiving.
book this minute with the Marriott. Dude, that's impressive.
Right after American Thanksgiving.
Right,
That
yeah.
Monday. Open up in Boston.
Boston. And that'll be the first one they meet, right?
Philly, Boston, and San Jose.
I
Those will be
lied.
3 good games.
Right here. They got Dallas, Pittsburgh, Vegas, New
there's
Jersey,
Boston.
and then Boston. At Boston. I'm excited to see that.
In the Garden.
That's in a couple weeks. That'll be good.
Well, then they got the California trip there.
Everyone has to take that.
That'll be a
That back.
tough one there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And this back too. That's a little. You're gonna go from Ohio to Toronto. I'm excited for them to play Boston.
It'll be a good matchup to see where they're at from last year.
It'll be. Well, I mean,
they're at a good place right now just to see where those two teams are at when they play each other.
Yeah.
What level they go to, which is going to be high. That'll probably be the Hockey Night in Canada game
Oh, no doubt.
for sure.
No doubt.
I mean, that market is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know. Is it gotten? That's an interesting topic. Is Toronto becoming a bigger hockey market than Montreal?
Now they are. I think it. We're so bad with geography.
It's my strong suit.
With Ottawa not going, I mean, Ottawa still has fans.
Yeah.
Toronto will now actually, people I think will actually start, if you're not inside the stadium, people will outside it real big.
That's ridiculous to me. It's like regular season game, you're a couple weeks in and you still got thousands of people watching on the concourse. And you got 18,000 people inside.
I don't know if you watched the Winnipeg game. Winnipeg
it
and
was ridiculous.
They showed the outside view?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, where are all the people that are at the game? Because the entire plaza is packed.
Like, and then it goes back to, okay, like when and if we do travel, it's like I said, I want to be there for the entire week. So we can actually enjoy more than just the game.
Get a homestand.
Get a homestand going. No, I'm not. No. Even then, so like with Toronto, like okay, we're not going to handle December well. Period. We're just not. And we're okay with that. We're not going to handle it well. But we got to do a game inside the stadium. And then we got to do one for the standing. To get that experience. Because I think standing tickets are going to be a little bit cheaper. Probably.
Most likely.
Yeah. I mean, you
Probably
could...
half price.
You been to a Cowboys game yet?
I have not.
You have not? I've been to a preseason one.
I'm not spending $50 to stand and watch this game.
Yeah, it'll be
I'd
like
rather
that.
watch it for free on TV.
Yeah, it'll be like that, but we're going to be up in Toronto.
Yeah, that's different though.
It'll be different. Now we could do that, and we can talk about our travels there. We can go actually experience part of the culture. It'll be good. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and that's why I don't want to just be like, oh, okay, we're going to fly in, land, go to this game, and then leave. I'm like, well, let's spend a week there. I want to take like a walking tour. I don't know if they still do this.
Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can go take a walking tour because we get some culture in us. Not just be like, oh, let's just go to like a cool little sports bar. No, like let's go to a museum. Let's really embrace it. Yeah, we can do that.
Unless we're in Nashville.
Nashville is country
karaoke bar.
Yeah,
Gotta visit the South. We gotta make the Tampa and what is it, Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
For I don't know where the Panthers play.
But,
Sunrise, something like that, and then you could go to Carolina and Nashville, Columbus. Well, that's more.
That's more north. Yeah, you gotta.
I mean, all the teams down in that lower southeast region.
It would be fun. It'd be fun because you gotta
move up the east with like Pittsburgh and Boston and Philly.
Pittsburgh is a beautiful city. Now I know you haven't been, but it's gorgeous.
I haven't been anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere at all.
I have more travel experience than.
I'm so cultured.
With Monsieur Baudet.
With East Texas, it's
East
amazing.
Texas, yeah. I'm very familiar with West Texas, Central Texas. I travel a lot more than Bodie.
That sounds awful.
Traveling or West Texas?
West Texas.
It is.
Just so you guys know, it's like, oh, we can make a couple hours trip and we'll go from like Pittsburgh to New Jersey or something like that. I'm like, no, we take like 12-hour drive. We're still not out of the state.
No, you're not.
We can't get out of it.
Like,
I'm not saying I want to leave. I want to travel places.
We'll go places. I keep trying to get them. I was trying to get them to go to Nashville for the longest time. For like spring break.
I don't even go to Austin. I don't even go to the capital.
Dude, Austin's weird,
man.
Austin's a nice looking place.
They keep it weird.
They do. They're good at football this year, so it's crazy.
Hey, how about them Longhorns?
Something. But yeah, we could travel. We could definitely travel. But again, Carolina, they do outdoor barbecue, make lightning in the building. Like I just want to experience everything.
Like an in-game and then like a pre-game experience.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of post-game if they win. I don't know if there's like a post-game celebration for stuff.
I think that's more Canada.
It's more Canada. Go out, hit the bars afterwards.
Probably, or Nashville. Some places are like the downtown is kind of more
lively.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying that Dallas isn't a lively, but like after Stars games, it's usually during the week. People got jobs to go to the next one. I'm not saying that people in Nashville don't have jobs to go to, but probably a lot more fun city to hang out.
I think it's more fun because it's
around
unique.
The arena.
It's different. Dallas,
It's more of a working city.
You get
It's like a
DFW.
business city.
Yeah, you get DFW. And again, I'm more than happy to talk about DFW because that's where we're from. And if you guys are entertained in that, that's fine.
That encompasses so many cities. It's ridiculous.
But it is. It really is. So again, we can tell stories. But when I moved into the dorm my freshman year, and everyone's like, "Where are you from?" Every kid that was local would be like Winters, Ballinger, Ball, Coleman. Like, you're looking at me like you have no, yeah, you have no idea. You have no idea. These, in Texas we have 1A, 2A schools. Now 1A schools usually graduate with about 50 on a good day. Because I met somebody who had a graduation class of 4.
Yeah, it ranges.
Yeah, it ranges. Yeah, he was from Comanche.
Well, I say that, but what am I thinking of? I cover 6-man football sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think their entire high school was maybe 50 people.
Yeah.
55 people. So your graduating class is maybe 15 people.
Maybe.
Or 20.
Yeah. Depends on where you're at. So, this one kid, I had him in my freshman math. Art major. Kid from Comanche. Graduated with 4 people.
I'm sure that's exciting.
He's like,
tell those stories.
we went to the gym, walked 4 people across the stage. I was like, that's crazy.
That's been the quickest graduation of all time.
I'm sure. And think about all the lists you have because you know they had to do everything. He's like, yeah, I had to play like 6-man football, and we had to do this, and we had to do that. So when people go, yeah, I'm like from Comanche or Ballinger or Early or Brownwood, you're looking at me like you have no idea where those are from. I know that because the university's there. But everyone who was from like a little small town, and all those things are like a 30-minute drive from campus.
Oh.
So when you go, oh, how come you don't commute? It'd be like me going to UTA.
Yeah.
So it's just easier for me to leave at UTA.
It's like I'm not driving an hour every morning if I had an 8 a.m. class.
Right.
Traffic's going to be terrible.
So everyone knows where all those towns are. I mean, there's some towards it. But like the people that were from bigger places, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, they had no idea. So when we're sitting, because you have these hall meetings. I don't know if you experienced that. But pretty much everyone on your floor comes out, and there's usually, my freshman year, there's 2 people per floor, so it was like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's about a good 30 of us. And 15 of these kids are just listing off where they're from, like the small town areas. And the rest of us were like, oh, we're from Dallas. And you know when someone's from a bigger city, and they go, what part of Dallas? Because if you're from a big city, you just know, like, oh, I can list this. I can tell you where we're, like, at.
Yeah.
But when you get the same response when we actually go into downtown.
Oh, I get the response when people ask me where I'm from. They're like, where's that? I'm like,
Yeah.
I even say Kaufman. I'm like, Kaufman's a pretty big county and city or whatever, but they're like, I don't know where that is. I'm like, everybody just like, it's an hour southeast of Dallas.
Yeah.
That's all I say.
Yeah. It's
you're not going to look it up on a map. I'm just going to tell you how far away it is.
It's so much easier because, again, we're not, like, okay, my population right now is growing because we have 2 6-day schools. But my graduating class was 250.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go, yeah, I graduated with 250 because I was part of the game, everyone's like, wow, that school's big. And I'm like, no, because that one's from Denton. She had like 1,000.
Yeah.
Like, that's big to me.
That's big.
I'm 250. Like, I knew everybody. Just about everybody. And the class behind me was 450. Like, we were growing.
I don't know. I'm much smaller. It's like I think the year I graduated, our football was 3A. And our baseball might have moved down to 2A. But I think our high school had 450 people.
Yeah.
And I graduated with like 75 people.
Yeah, that was a class behind me.
And those are people like, it's not like, well, everybody's name. I'm like, these are people I've went to school with my whole life. It's like, I started in kindergarten, 1st grade with them, and now I'm graduating with them.
Yeah. But, I mean, we can talk about our high school if we wanted to. I'm not like a huge...
We didn't have high school hockey.
I
had to drive all the way an hour and a half to Duncanville to play. We had people don't know where that is either.
Yeah. We had group high school hockey. Because everyone from Duncanville that played out of Duncanville was either from like Mesquite, Mansfield.
Yeah, that's what ours was. But I'm the black sheep. I'm from like an hour southeast of Duncanville, and everybody else is from DeSoto or Grand Prairie, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they're right, or Arlington, like, because they're all bunched together. So when we go Dallas as like an afterlife, people are driving 45 minutes in, and I'm sure that's like that for every other city.
Yeah. Heck, there's people that go to Stars game. They live in Plano, which is in Dallas, but it's still a 20, 30-minute drive.
So there isn't like the standout patio people. I'm assuming you walked. Ideally, I mean, I'm sure you would park. I honestly don't know. Someone would have to explain to me how that would work. But I know Dallas is trying to get it to. They're building all that stuff. They have like the restaurants, but all this stuff closes at midnight. Just about. Mm-hmm. I think Hooters closes at 11? No,
I don't know.
No, midnight, right? Midnight.
Well, that's weekends.
The weekends.
I'm not sure, but during the week it might be like 12 or 1.
Right, but then during summer hours, you don't know.
Yeah,
because no one has
2.
Yeah.
2-ish. That's about the only place that's open. Because everybody else closes. Like, especially when we went on New Year's Eve. Like, everywhere's closing at like 11. I'm like, it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah. We went to that Italian restaurant. Now, that's a fun little story in itself. Well, I mean, it's not like this grand story. I have better stories than that. But we went to that. And
after trouncing the San Jose Sharks.
Yes.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Hold on, I'll be right back. Anyways, we were talking about... We could go talk about our high school days. And we can talk about, like, our personal stories of Dallas, if we needed to. If you guys really want to know that.
There's not that many.
There's not that... You don't have that many.
I don't know. I've been in plenty of Stars games. I just don't have any stories.
You have no fan stories? No, we have that... No, we got the fraternity story.
Oh, my God. Spring break week?
Yes.
Goodness gracious. Was that Baylor?
Yes. You ever been to Baylor?
No.
Baylor's a pretty school.
I know it is. I can't pay $40,000 a year to go there.
You know they got little bear cubs on campus?
That's why I went to UTA.
Oh, again, Sassy popping off.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
She's back.
She woke up. She's an old dog, so took a power nap in here while we were closing out the last video, snoring away. If you can hear little doggy snores, that's Sassy.
I can hear it.
Yeah. She snores like a train. Little 13-pound wiener dog just... Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway.
We can talk about that.
Okay, we're going to talk about that story.
What?
I want to tell the story.
You want to tell?
Did he have a trash bag?
Oh, dude, there's so much going on.
Pizza boxes?
You had pizza boxes, trash bag, and then...
He was out by the start of the first period.
That was the dude from Tampa.
What? Was it Tampa?
We were on spring break. The Stars were playing Tampa. Baylor came up with the fraternity and sorority duo.
Yeah, there was like 40 to 50 people in that section.
No, the entire section was just about rented out.
Something, I don't know.
Yeah, the entire section was rented out.
That's all I know.
The one guy from Tampa... Ooh, Sassy. Interjecting. Dude from Tampa, not Sassy. The dude from Tampa had the pizza boxes with them. The other guy with the trash bag already gone.
He was gone.
It wasn't even the first period.
No.
They rolled in. Again, it's a fraternity spring break. They had their sister sorority with them. Everybody paired up. Dude with trash bags. Awake.
Awake.
Not looking at anything. Because, again, we're up against the wall. It's you.
No, we're like the back row.
We're back row. Our backs are on the wall.
We're watching the entire section below us.
We're trying to watch this game.
Trying. We were in the corner, too.
I
we
don't
were
know.
kind of in the tough place.
Part of the reason why I hate sororities is because they want to make all those pictures last.
Oh.
It doesn't matter when you take the picture. And part of it is Texas culture.
Let's not say Baylor culture.
It's not Baylor culture.
We know what Baylor culture is.
Yeah. Baylor culture is you're good for a season or two and then you're just bad.
Yeah.
No, but I've been to Baylor 2 or 3 times to visit. It's nice.
Can't afford it.
Can't afford it. They got really good. They have this one restaurant you all got to eat at because it's like only Baylor. I have some stories about Baylor. I have some stories, but
I have 0.
You
Besides that one.
That one about the.
And it was great.
But
the very end of it is the greatest part.
For you,
the dude with the trash bag saves the guy from falling down the stairs. The guy that was asleep during the entire game, including the first period. who had like the trash bag. They're like, oh, someone get him a trash bag. He just has an entire 40-gallon trash bag sitting next to him. And the guy goes to take a step down the rail and almost loses it 10 flights up.
Dude, he saved him twice. Because the guy to his left, remember, was trying to get up, and he was in the middle of the section.
He just like grabs his arm.
And the dude just starts falling, and he's just like, oh no. And the guy's just, boom, by the belt buckle. Like, by the belt of the guy. Saved that guy. Dude with the Tampa passed out. Dude, he was, you know how someone's hyped when they're drunk? And then it's just, it just went boom. Here, knockout, boom. And everyone.
20 pizza boxes stacked up next to him.
Like, those kids weren't eating dinner.
No.
I know we're children, but those kids weren't eating dinner.
We're not children.
Well, I mean, we were younger than them at the time.
I think we were in college already. Though.
We were in college, but they were like...
Yeah.
Dude, they're definitely older.
They're in Baylor College.
We in college, but we ain't like college.
We're in like public university.
No, we were...
They're in private university.
Yeah, that's fine. But the entire section pretty much ordered mini pizzas at the game after drinking for probably 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, there was no
just
real...
to have something.
Yeah, there was no real dinner. And then you remember... Because I just remember it's you, me, and your mom.
Yeah, that was awkward.
It was awkward to begin with. But the people that were kind of next to us, remember? Were actually
like,
season ticket holders.
Oh, yeah, they got moved out.
They got so mad at them. Because, again,
come on.
Because these girls are standing up, and they're going down the stairs, and then they're at the ledge, and then they take like 4 or 5 pictures.
Yeah.
They do selfies, and then they go, oh, wait. And then they hand the phone off to someone else in their sorority. And they start making, like the classic duck faces or whatever. They start doing their little trendy stuff. But they hand the phone off to another drunk person who's equally as hammered. And all the photos come out blurry, so they got to take them again.
Oh, yeah.
And so now they're like, everyone's like, they finally caught on as, and guys, people are actually trying to watch this game. Between them standing up and like waving around and throwing stuff, I didn't mind that because it's entertainment. I'm pretty laid back, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because we go to plenty of Stars games. I'm like, whatever. I wanted to watch Stamkos and like Johnson or whatever, but I'm like, you know what? This is slightly entertaining to watch people interact with each other. The season ticket holders were not having any of that. I'm like, bro, you got 40 more games. Like,
it's like, when was it, March? Something like that.
It was March. I think we were good enough to where it's like, you're definitely going to see playoffs.
We were right there.
Yeah. But the other part of that was the 2 girls that lost their dates.
Oh, yeah. We could have walked out of there.
Could have. Right. Your mom. No offense, Mrs. Cooper. No offense, Mrs. Cooper. Ruined it. Could have loaded up on a charter bus already paid for.
That might have been the only time I've ever heard that question. Are you our dates? I'm like,
I couldn't help but laugh.
So.
Dude, I couldn't help but laugh.
I'm like, I don't think. She's like, oh, you want this cotton candy? I'm like, no, I don't want your cotton candy. It's got your sticky hands all over.
That's right. She offered you food. It's a good thing we don't take food from strangers.
Yeah.
Especially drunk strangers. Oh, like, I don't even... Like, here's the thing. I can't eat other people's food to begin with.
Ah, come on.
I can't do it.
You can't even eat leftovers.
That too.
That upsets me.
Yeah.
Wasteful.
I eat large meals, and you know this.
Which then again, I eat Ritz for dinner.
That was ridiculous. Sleeve of saltines. Gone.
That's all I can afford.
Not what he could afford. He had pasta.
Pasta.
You had pasta.
$4 pasta.
You had
Chicken Express.
Student
discount.
Yeah.
$5 all day.
And if you're wondering why I know what he eats, it's because we've been together so long. And we've lived together for a year.
That.
Yeah. I'm not clarifying that. It's 2018.
No, we're moving past it.
We're moving past it. I'm telling you, 9 more years. And I say this all the time. 9 more years, and then legally we can start...
It's like a year now.
A year?
Pretty sure.
No, I thought it was...
So you owe me.
I owe you nothing.
You owe me rent.
Dude, that rent...
We split, so it
rent
doesn't make any sense.
First off, the rent to me was ridiculous at that place.
Oh yeah, it's a terrible apartment. Thanks a lot, Centennial.
Centennial.
Shout out.
Yeah, they were like, okay...
With your cold water and your air conditioning not working during the summer when it's 110 degrees.
Oh, you lived there during the summer. That's your mistake. No, the first day I moved in, I see cockroaches.
Oh yeah, we had those too.
And I was just like,
forget about that.
Not doing that. Not doing that. Drove down to the little Walmart, and I say little. It was one of those super ones.
Oh, was it the one by AT&T Stadium?
No. That one's little. That one's a
neighborhood market over in Pantego.
I can't tell you the street. I went the other way. I drove past them all. I drove past them all to the bigger one.
Oh, yeah, the one on the other side of 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went in there, and I bought these big boxes of those roach traps.
Oh, I remember we went to the Walmart that day.
Yeah. Do you remember what I did with all... Here's the thing. Someone's like, oh, you gotta sparingly use your roach traps. That way they're like...
Use it all.
No, I threw down like 10 of them. I kicked like 3 of them under the sofa, 2 of them under the thing. I put 1 in my room. I think I gave you 1.
They're probably still there.
They're probably, dude. And then I threw like 2 or 3 down in the kitchen because I was like, I'm not having this. And then I get an email like a week later from Centennial. And they go, 1, the gate's broken. Again.
Somebody ran into it.
Again.
Again.
2, we may or may not have a roach problem. So please contact the office if you think you have one.
You got one.
You got one. You got 10, what is it? You got 10 apartment buildings out there? Like apartment complex, like just big building. Yeah, yeah, about 10 of them. Because we played, what is it? Tennis?
Hockey golf?
We played hockey golf. We can do that again.
This shows you how we pass the time.
Yeah. The storm gutters, because it kind of sloped down, and we would stand on one end of the parking lot, and we would shoot/tee up across the parking lot over cars, because we know we're not going to hit any, because we're
just gotta watch out for the storm drain.
Yeah, we're decent enough. We're trying to get to the storm drain, because the storm drain was a hole.
I mean by the storm, not in the storm drain.
Oh, like the gutter itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that way, oh god, so many balls were lost.
So many.
The hockey golf gods are not kind. So we knew we weren't going to hit any cars. Plus, a lot of college kids weren't driving amazing cars. There was one kid that had like a Beamer, but we were like, we're not going to hit the Beamer.
And it was a bad Beamer. It wasn't a pretty Beamer.
Okay. I swear there was
to
one.
me. I
don't know. A Beamer's a Beamer,
I'm
man.
not a BMW fan. So.
But he's not going to be appreciative of like a muddy, flat tennis ball flying over the building,
Sure.
just smacking his car. But we did that, roach traps, and then...
Oh yeah, we played across the street on hockey golf.
Yeah. We went over into the
park.
we went to the local park.
Around that corner where people fly at like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so those were the emails from Arlington. But, again, when you drive into the Stars game, you're usually driving back out, and then each own city has its, like, subsets to do. Some people ride the Dart, and I've been on the Dart to a Stars game. If you're wondering what the Dart is.
I've never ridden the Dart in my life.
It's,
not once.
It's a unique thing. Now...
That means it's bad.
No, it's not terrible. It just depends on where you go. Now, if you're wondering what the Dart is, because you're not from Texas or DFW, it's essentially like a rail system.
It's a train.
It's a train.
Above ground.
It's above ground, like most trains are.
I nailed it.
Nailed it. But it's connected by wires. And they have, so like Dart is also like a taxi, bus. It's a public transportation system. But it doesn't go to Arlington.
No.
And it's not ever going to go to Arlington.
That's too far.
As long as Jerry Jones lives.
Unless he can make money off of it.
Yeah, if Dart's going to give him a cut, because right now he's charging $50 for parking.
He can put his name on it.
Yeah, he can put his name on it. He can make money. He's charging like $150 for bus parking. He's paying $200 for tailgate lots, and you get $50 for regular parking. He's not going to let the Dart just drop people off and walk into the stadium for free.
Yeah, then you're going to have entrance fees.
There is entrance fees. That's $200 a ticket.
No, I'm saying if they have the Dart system, he's going to be like, all right, you're going to have to pay to walk into my parking lot.
Probably. But anyway, so if we go somewhere, right? Again, let's use Carolina, because I'm about it. 1, I want to go for the barbecue. 2, we're going for the game. That's the primary
Texas
reason.
barbecue is better.
Of
I haven't
course.
had Carolina barbecue, but I'm going to put it out there.
I think they got a little more sweetness to it.
I thought they were more vinegar.
They might, yeah. No, Texas has a wide variety of barbecue. It ranges. I'm about hot and spicy, but I can do brown sugar. I think brown sugar is really going to do it.
I can't handle black pepper. You think I can handle spot? Hell, oh my god. He's losing it.
He's losing it again.
Can't handle spice.
Can't do spicy? I'm all about it, man. But we'll go get some barbecue. I hope they have a turkey leg.
Everywhere has a turkey leg.
You're down for the turkey leg. I'm down for a half rack of ribs. Because I'm not going to go for a burger, and I'm not going to get a steak from Carolina.
Ribs
no
are so
offense.
expensive.
Dude, all about it. Just get a little half rack.
I'm going for brisket. You know a state's barbecue by their brisket.
Okay, we can do that. You get a.
I don't know. There are some crappy brisket places in Texas, though.
You were
Arlington.
speaking of ribs. You ever been to that place? I know we went in Fort Worth. That one where we saw on the Food Channel, and it's only in Fort Worth, and it's family owned.
No,
And they had those thick ribs, and it was all you can eat.
I didn't go there.
Those were delicious. I've had it. They were delicious. We saw it on the Food Channel when we lived together.
I don't know. I don't think I ever went to Fort Worth. I've been to Fort Worth like once, and it was a forgettable experience.
I thought you went for the drive-ins.
Maybe twice then.
Yeah.
Drive-ins were nice.
I can't remember the name of the barbecue place, but it's family owned, only in Fort Worth, and there's like 4 or 5 locations.
No.
It's good.
I haven't been there. Dickies, awful. Never gonna sponsor this show. Forget it.
Forget it.
Your gristle and your ribs is terrible.
Why do you get gristle?
Figure it out.
Why do you get ribs from
Because it comes that way,
you
sir.
look again. If I say let's go to Dairy Queen, where do you get from Dairy Queen?
Chicken strip basket, man.
Who does
All day.
that?
Me, Americans.
It's-
Don't
it's
you
a
dare
burger
say steak
place.
finger.
No,
Okay.
no. I only ate those.
Okay.
At school. I only ate those at school, and school
That
ruined
might
those.
have
But
tested our friendship.
no, you get a burger, and you get a Blizzard.
Yeah, I got a Blizzard.
And I know everyone up north's going to be like, what is that? Let's use Wendy's. When you go to Wendy's...
It's like a milkshake with ice cream and candy pieces in it, basically. But it's better than everything else.
It's a Texas thing. If you go to Wendy's, because you guys don't have Whataburger up there, if you go to Wendy's is known for what? Hamburgers. You're not going to go in there and be like...
Baconator.
Yeah, you're not going to go in there and be like, I want some chicken strips.
I'm a chicken guy, so...
Yeah, well...
I do like burgers. I don't think I've ever had a burger from Dairy Queen. Not once,
The thing that the franchise is built off of.
basically.
Never
I
had.
would say more it's about Blizzards there.
Burgers,
I might have had a burger once.
Blizzards,
I have had chicken strips, baskets, and sandwiches.
baskets.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, point is...
Off on another tangent.
We're off on another tangent of...
How about these surprise things, eh?
Yeah, on the surprises and wanting to travel to them.
We ended with Dairy Queen,
We ended with Dairy Queen.
which most people up north... I don't know, Dairy Queen's kind of
South only.
franchised place. It's around.
South
It's not
only.
like Whataburger.
Whataburger's only Texas. Dairy Queen went bankrupt and closed everything from...
Whataburger has some places in like Oklahoma.
Went from Fort Worth to Colorado, I
Better
think?
than In-N-Out Burger. By a long shot.
No doubt. No doubt.
We settled that, so.
Sorry, not up. Anyway, so we want to travel and do...
we want to travel.
We want to travel, but we want to experience the after game thing. Because again,
Yeah.
we go to Carolina, we
It's all about the experience.
yeah, the ribs, the game. Carolina hopefully wins because we are going to be big homers when we travel. Give me a little
skull chant.
Give me a little skull chant. Give me a celebration, and then let's go out and do something after the game. I'm sure people are going to be yelling because I remember the draft. Come on, Canes! First off, get a new catchphrase. Second,
Oh, they're fine now.
they're fine now. Come on, Canes, dude. It makes it seem like you're like, oh, come on. I'm not. No,
Maybe they just hate their management.
I don't know. They're like, come on, Canes. But you know those people are going to go out and do something else that's fun. Nashville, same thing, because they're right. The Bridgestone Arena is right
Dude,
off
it's
the
like
strip.
Like a downtown. Like Nashville is like a small town, but a big town at the same time.
They have that. It's like 6th Street in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
You've never been to Austin,
Yeah,
so
sure.
like all
I'm just agreeing with
yeah,
you.
all these things are like not relevant to you. Dallas doesn't have that strip of bars you could go to, but Austin has 6th Street where it's just all bars.
Dallas doesn't really have anything in the downtown area.
They have museums.
Who wants to go to a museum after a game?
Not after.
I'm talking about like after a game or before a game or something.
They got Hooters. They have that. What is that?
Everybody's got Hooters.
We went. Have we gone to that diner?
That nails it down. I don't know what you're
Okay,
talking
right.
about.
We park in front of the house, right?
Yeah.
We walk, but there's that little park area, and then we
That
walk.
Buzz Brews
Yes,
place?
yeah.
I heard it was terrible.
It is god awful.
Oh, maybe it was you that told me it was terrible.
Because that's what settled it. Because we were either going to go there or we went to the Italian place on New Year's.
Yeah. Any place that would take us that was open.
Buzz Brews is 24 hours, I think, but they are mostly known for beer, and you don't drink. And we were hungry, and the food's not good, so we went to this Italian place.
It's 1 for 2.
It's one. The Italian, I enjoyed the Italian place. It was good. The waiter was a jerk.
Whoa.
Saving myself.
Watch your mouth.
Hey, I mean, it was something. That's a story for another day. But we could do something like that in Carolina where we go out to an after thing. Now, I know you personally don't drink, and I don't think you're going to start tomorrow.
Probably not tomorrow. It's Sunday.
I'm sure we can make Monsieur Baudet drink if we go to a hockey game and they win.
Maybe eventually.
Again, it's like we said last video. What is it like?
I'm working my way up to being an adult.
Adult, yeah,
Real close.
real close to it. Real close. Like, what is it? 1,000 video or 1,000 likes, and we'll make you watch Joe Buck for an hour.
Please don't.
That was the last video thing. We're gonna do that here,
No,
but
please
not
don't.
not with Joe Buck. We'll figure something else out for Bodie to maybe get drinking. But that's a thought for another day. So we went from our season surprises to this strange tangent. Traveling. Okay, if it isn't maps, it's traveling because obviously we want to go somewhere.
Geography once again.
Once again, we can't. I can read a map.
I can't.
Bodie has no concept.
I can read Google Maps.
Yeah, Bodie has no concept over where states are, like a
No.
mental picture, and that's fine. Some people can do that.
Or even just cities in Texas. I have no idea.
Bodie's gonna have to do a lot of traveling with me, but
I thought San Antonio was Houston earlier.
woof.
So there's a positive.
Yeah,
They're both terrible.
Houston's a nice, decent city. Houston is the next city of Atlanta, so I'll put that out there.
That it should be lost forever.
No, that's California. That's California. Again, every earthquake,
It's a step closer.
I chant, man, fall into the sea. But
All right, let's move on to suspensions.
Suspensions.
We've been stuck on this season surprises for like an hour.
and this was a surprise. So the suspensions. Now, you've seen the video of Matheson.
Yeah. I heard earlier on a different podcast. I'm not going to specify which one it was because you should listen to this one. But the hit was all right. The follow through maybe not so much.
And that's what I think. That's
I
what
think that's been the debate on social media.
The
I know that dictates how long a suspension should be these days.
you know. Everyone's opinion counts. So you comment on social media pages, which I think
Not
is
on that.
strangely foolish. Good.
One time I commented.
All it takes is one.
I do on suspension sometimes. Most of the time I'm correct on the number of games.
That's a fun game. We can
Except
start playing
for
that game.
Wilson. We'll get to Wilson a little bit later.
Oh, dude,
but
well, dude, yeah, that was. I strongly disagree with that. And
I think it's history based.
it's definitely history based, but the guy didn't have a concussion and he popped right back on up and wasn't bleeding.
He did have a concussion.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
My
And a
bad.
separated shoulder.
Dude, okay, Wilson
It was
hits like a.
preseason too, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he hits like a truck.
But that's the whole debate of people are like, you can't hit anybody that has their head down anymore.
I mean,
Because
that's
then the principal point of contact is going to be the head.
it's getting some, but
it's
Wilson. Okay, I would give him 10. 20 is
because he plays
that's
on the edge. He's just a physical player.
yeah. I'm like
That's the way he plays.
20 is a little excessive to me. 15 would have been. I would have been like, you know what, whatever. And then he went through the appeals and got denied again.
I thought they were going to reduce it. I said like 10 to 12.
I'm thinking like 10 to 15. I was fine with 10 to 15. The hit didn't look terrible.
It
It's
looked
like-
like an open ice hit.
yeah, and I think it's getting to the point to where it's like you're not even going to get open ice hits anymore.
Yeah.
It's building that way.
Like if a guy has his head down, do I have to lower myself more so I don't hit him in the head?
No, the rule was you got to keep your head up.
I know, but they're saying if a guy, even if he has his head down, it's not the onus isn't on the player carrying the puck anymore.
That's crap.
I know that's why it's stupid.
No, to me that's crap. I don't know what everyone else thinks. Like, oh well, it's up to because it's getting to the point. Like, I'll use the NFL.
Oh,
The
that's
co-
a joke now.
It is, but the defense, you can't do anything.
No,
Defensive players can't do. And I get like we don't want head contact. Great, and everyone's like,
but
our bodies
tackle
going.
with your head down. It's kind of
Yeah, there's form
even with
tackling.
your head up, you can still hit helmets.
Yeah, but they're like, don't use it as like, don't go in there and lead with your head. I get that, but form tackling, like you kind of lower. And you get a little bit lower than the guy, and you wrap up. No one wraps up. Again, they're running like 20 miles an hour. You're not going to wrap up. I get it.
Let's talk about the quarterbacks now too. It's like you're supposed to let up after you've already hit the quarterback. You're not supposed to put your full body weight after you've already tackled him or hit him.
The ones on Clay Matthews are awful. But the one where the first week where you're like, wow, they really blew the game. Well, they went one where Minnesota had it like that or whatever. The opposing team had it. And then Clay Matthews got it. It was just later in the game.
Like multiple times.
And then he did it like the first 3 weeks. The second week I disagreed with because he was like, yeah, your body weight can't land on a player. I'm like,
yeah, that one cost him the game.
I'm like, first off, when you tackle somebody, it's not like he's out there. Yeah, it's not like he's out there just peppering cheerleaders, like just right on. Like, because then we can be like, yeah, that probably shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's like you're already in the process of hitting someone. How do you slow up after you've already hit them?
Yeah, so he did it for 3 weeks. He's been fairly decent. One guy was like, you just have to play the ball, and I'm like,
it's not
dude,
my job.
it's like football. Like you're gonna tackle the guy with the ball. I get you're
job
trying
is
to keep,
tackle him before he throws the ball.
Yeah, I get like you're trying to keep him safe because they start blowing the whistle when the pile just collects.
Yeah.
I get that, and when you pile onto them. But the one, I don't think you don't watch Thursday Night Football. I do because I have no life. So it was Tampa versus Pittsburgh. Big Ben threw it. The guy came in, can't slow down, kind of hit him. He goes, "My fault, Ben." He's already screaming. He pulled up. I don't know what more you would want.
Yeah, it's not like he's finishing him 2 seconds after he threw the ball.
No,
going straight through him.
Right, because when we were taught how to hit, it was as long as those players is within 2 strides, you could hit them.
Yeah, it's like you're already that close.
3 was questionable. 4 is charging.
Mm-hmm.
I know what charging is. People do it to me all the time. I get rid of the puck and I'm standing there. 1, I should probably not be admiring some passes. I admit it.
That's why I don't get hit all the time because I'm not a great player like you are. So
I'm not fantastic. I'm just like, wow, that pass was pretty. And then I'm just, it happens more in beer league than it does when we go to the scrimmages. The scrimmages, we can admire our passes.
Plus, I think our league's a little bit more relaxed than the Star Center leagues. Most of the time. Not when we first started. Not when we first started, but I think the Parks has calmed down a whole lot.
So many complaints, dude.
Somewhat. There's a couple of people.
It's gonna calm down,
I won't
but
be named because I don't know their names.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's where it's getting to. Now, did you watch the entire play where?
Yeah.
Pettersson just broke his ankles, right? Sharp turn, broke his ankles. That's fine, and the guy hit him. That's fine. It's the body slam, and I was reading some comments because I read comments. They were like, "Oh, he's just." I'm like, guys, like you don't appreciate. Like 1, no one likes to be hit.
No.
2,
but no one likes to get danced either.
Yeah, no one likes to get danced. No one likes to get hit. That's part of the beauty of the game. Now you're like throwing him off the top rope. He's like, the kid
Choke
needs...
slam.
Yeah. First off, one of the comments was like, oh, the kid needs to gain like 25 pounds and bulk up. I'm like, fair.
Yeah, it's like, but still, you're going to have players that are stronger than you.
Fair. Also true.
It's like you can't control how strong a player is that's going to play against you. You can only control what you can control, which is like your size and how you play. Right.
You can, and again, when it goes to Wilson, okay, if he hits Pettersson, it's just going to hurt Pettersson more because Tom's so much bigger. And it's the same thing with Matheson. Matheson weighs more. Pettersson's younger and more fragile. But if Tom Wilson picked him up and threw him over the glass, there's an issue.
Asking him to get kicked out of the league.
Yeah, there's an issue. And with this one, there's an issue on that. It's the follow-through of it. And then we'll go to...
It's like that one rule of like, you can hit a guy, you just can't punish your opponent. I think that's like charging.
It's
something like that.
Unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
It can qualify under something.
Yeah.
But now...
It's like back in the day with football when they used to hit the quarterbacks and they would wrap them up and then slam them to the ground.
Yeah. And that's exactly what the NFL doesn't want. Yeah. And I get that. And it's better for everybody.
Yeah.
It's better for the entire league. It's better for the league. It's better for the players. It's better for like fans because you're paying, like back then, you're paying 5 cents, $5 to go to a game. Now, you're lucky to get 16.
You want to see the star quarterback player, the star player not get injured. So.
Yeah. I get. You're trying to protect your quarterback, so it's a marketing thing.
And Pettersson's like their rookie.
Pettersson's a
huge, high up pick this year. So
you got Bo Horvat and
Besser.
I can never pronounce his name. Besser
Prince
and
Charming, man.
Yeah, Prince Charming and now you have Pettersson. Those are the three people, everyone in Vancouver,
Protect those guys.
are going to tune in and watch. Those are the three guys that when you are marketing for games are going to be marketed. When you're and if you travel to Vancouver, because you get people that travel, when you travel to Vancouver, and if you're playing whoever, you're going to go see your team play those three guys. Everyone, you know why we sold one in Dallas when Detroit would come, and like Chicago, tickets skyrocketed to $87 for nosebleed seats. Not because the team was good. The team, it helps when the team's good, because then you can go from 87 to a flat 100.
Yeah.
But because of the marketing of Datsuk, Zetterberg, Cronwall, Kane, Taves, Crosby, you can market that so much better. And you only play them once a year now.
Yeah. With Detroit.
No, but same with Vancouver versus Florida. They only play each other once. Once in Florida. And Florida is going to travel to Vancouver. And everyone wants to see Ekblad.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wants to see Luongo. You're going to see
I'm thinking of other players.
Huberdeau. Barkov and Huberdeau. And those, like, you have people to watch.
Yeah.
They're going to market that. Those are your...
I don't mean to crap on them, but I'm like, I don't know if they even go to Florida to watch them. I don't know.
They could take
Kind of
it.
empty last year.
It's empty
They're
this
just better
year.
when they're competing.
Well, when they were competitive.
A couple years ago.
Everything was going. And
You had Vegas, basically.
You had Vegas, basically. And then they were throwing rats. Again.
Doing that again.
I'm about it. Like, when you're good, I want to go watch you so we can partake in that. Like, if we were going to Florida, it would not be in this year.
Yeah.
Because they're not...
Better.
Yeah, they're not throwing rats, and we don't know if they're going to be competitive enough to sustain with the other team. I want to watch Florida and Tampa play for the in-state, because that's a little chippy.
Yeah.
But if I couldn't watch Florida be good...
I'll take Tampa on that one.
Yeah. Well, Tampa has a slight edge. But it's like going to watch Tampa play Detroit in Tampa. Yeah. It's going to be loud, there's going to be lightning, and you know Detroit's just going to play.
Yeah.
They're terrible this year, but they show up and play against Tampa.
Just because.
Just because. Because it's there. We have the elbow from Borowiecki.
Borowiecki.
I
think that's how it's pronounced. I know it's spelled weird.
I am looking at it weird.
That's how it's pronounced.
I've heard it pronounced, and I'm like, yeah, I know who you're talking about. And then I go to say it, and my brain's like, and we're going to do something different. And
yeah,
Vakanainen.
Blatant.
That was Vakanainen. I can say that one.
I've never heard of him. Sorry,
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah. Well, you saw that. He
was
looked
bad.
at him, too.
He looked. It's after the play was over. The goalie stops the puck. He sees him coming in. He's not going to do anything. He might snow the goalie. If that, there's already 6 people around the goalie.
He didn't get to snow him.
But he just looks up at the last second and then just like stiff arm elbow right to the nose.
I was listening to Boston, kind of the play calling on that.
Oh my God.
And they go, well, White should have had a penalty for hooking. And I'm like, yo.
That's what you got out of that?
And then he goes, and then of course the elbow, that's just dirty, but because he was...
Oh, yeah, we'll just pass right over
Yeah, because, no, White's the defender, but he was wide open net, and he just... And he's like, that's hooking. And I'm like, yeah, first off...
That's to keep him from scoring.
First off, that's a good penalty to take. And he's like, but they didn't call that penalty. And I'm like, and they didn't call the elbow. I'm like, call the elbow over the hook.
Yeah. It's well, you didn't get one, so they didn't call the other, so...
Yeah. I go, when you're inside the blue crease and you're, like, within the hash marks... I don't think you're going to get a lot of hooking calls.
No.
Not too often. Because at
that
that
really
point...
entitled to that space.
Yeah. It's...
like just like you're not going to get a lot of tripping calls or holding something. It's like once you get that in tight to the net, they're looking at the puck. They're not looking at the players.
Yeah. So when Boston's like, oh, that's a penalty. I'm like, first off, you guys play stingy defense. So don't tell me you're not doing the same thing. Yeah. 2, we all know that's prison rules.
Oh, yeah. Once you get around the net, anything's...
You're not allowed to throw elbows and swing your stick at, like, shoulder level, right? Don't be blatant. But we know, like, okay, the guy's going to hold, the guy's going to trip.
Or he's going to push the guy off, he's going to give him a face wash, something.
Did you see the one where it's a mad scramble? It's a mad scramble. The goalie's out on the net. I can't remember who it is. But blatantly just tackles the guy. I think it was Nashville and Winnipeg, and it was on the side of the net, and the guy's like, we can't let this guy score, so he just tackled him.
I think so.
And they were like 2 minutes for holding, and he's like, that's fair.
That's right. I wrapped him up. So.
Wrapped him up and tackled him, and then he was just laying on him for the duration of the play. And I'm like, that's essentially what you're doing in front of the net. Like,
took him out of the play.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I did that. I'm like, that's what White's doing for Boston with holding of that guy's stick. I'm like, they're not really going to call that because he's not tackled on the ice.
If they do, he's like...
Yeah, like, it's going to happen. But the elbow...
Yeah.
Dude, you looked at him.
Plus, it's Boston, too, so...
Everybody's
like, Boston can't comment on anything being dirty. Because it's Boston. You got Marchand playing for you, so... Marchand's too good to be doing... I've heard that 1,000 times. He's too good of a player to be doing the stupid stuff he does.
He is. He's got nice hands.
One of the best in the league.
He's got nice hands, man.
Proved it with that, $80 million contract he signed
after
the World Cup.
That's something. He's so talented. Like,
You came out of nowhere because you really didn't hear about Marchand until the last couple of years.
Started licking people, fighting people, Stanley Cup. Yeah, like he started doing outrageous stuff. I mean, to me, he's worth the money. I'd just be like, just stop clowning.
Yeah, just play.
Just play. We play you.
I don't want you to take the edge out of your game. I want you to stop licking people.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Elbows and stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you playing on the edge.
He's the master of the slew foot.
Yeah, just stop doing that, because if you spend 2 minutes in the box, like, we don't have you on the ice.
Same thing with people have said about Subban with diving. They're like, just play. Or complaining. Subban's a big complainer. When he doesn't get a call his way. That one with the empty net goal a couple of years ago, they shoot it down and it hits the linesman, and he's arguing the whole time, throwing his hands up in the air. Meanwhile, the guy just puts it in the net. I'm like, well, you could have kept playing defense, maybe.
Yeah, you gotta play through that.
That's gonna get bad breaks, but no.
But that's my thought. Like I think
they got it right. It was only one game suspension. It was blatant, but it's like it wasn't over the top. Plus, he has no history, so that factors in, I think, more than anything.
Right now, it does. I mean,
basically, with the new CBA,
I think you go with intent.
Yeah, that too. But you can't prove
the eye contact.
I mean, the eye contact, but it's so hard to prove intent.
But you're going off of... So what they do is they do those...
That one is pretty...
blatant.
I've never seen a guy just look at somebody and then elbow the guy.
No, you see it all the time in beer league.
Yeah, beer league.
Right.
NHL.
But if you ask the person in beer league,
were
you doing that on purpose, they are going to go, no.
Oh, yeah. They'll never say yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, they might.
You're essentially making it a court case. And it's his word versus the other word and the videotape.
But they have video evidence.
Yeah, and they go, you ever watch Cheaters?
Yeah.
You ever see the one where the guy's like, that's not me? And they go,
oh, yeah, it's like, we have you on video.
And he goes,
no.
Nah. He's like, isn't that your car? And he's like, guess he's stealing it. And it was like,
no.
It's like that. You know we have him dead to rights. It's like, dude, you shoot, your elbow comes up and you hit a guy, accidental. You're there, the whistle's dead, you look at him, you go back down, and then you... That's intent.
Yeah.
Same with I wasn't trying to kill him, right? Wasn't trying to kill him.
I was trying to finish my check.
I was trying to just merely throw an axe in his terrain. Like, you can't defend that.
It's like, I just happened to be there.
Yeah. It's like...
You got in the way of my check.
It's like intent to kill. I wasn't trying to kill him. I was trying to shoot around him. Like, there's no way you could phrase it to make it look any less. So with that in mind, with the elbow, and them not calling it.
Yeah.
And then we were talking earlier about World Series with Machado. I'm sure you watched the back.
He drug his foot and basically kicked the guy at first base.
Look, he kicked the guy. The guy could have got off the bag. It's one of the,
Well, his foot's on the side where it's supposed to be. It's not like his foot's on top of the bag, but he did it on purpose.
I'm not saying. Look, I've
never seen a guy drag his foot and kick somebody at first base. Which they didn't fight about it. The benches cleared and they talked about it.
Right, because they didn't. What?
It's still a dirty play.
But baseball has limited throwing high inside, right? They've limited to what you can do on that.
Not really.
I thought they did.
Baseball still kind of.
They're trying to
police it. They try and suspend guys more, but their suspensions are kind of.
I'm not saying you can't do it without a suspension. Yeah. They're starting to police it a lot more.
Sort of.
Because if you think about it right now, baseball and hockey.
I mean, still, a guy does that stuff. The next time he comes up to the plate, he's going to get drilled.
Yeah,
and they're behind him.
And then they kick the pitcher, right? They're trying to get to where
unless there's been a warning issued. If there's no warning issued, then they don't kick him out.
I'm thinking after that bench clear, there's a warning to both teams.
They issue warnings, but Machado didn't get hit after that because it's
a warning.
Like the NLCS too. The level, you're in the playoffs.
Right.
You're not going to put somebody on base just to settle a score.
But if you weren't worried about being suspended now,
yeah,
you would hit them.
Pitchers, I think the MLB suspensions are a joke because they suspend a pitcher for 6 games. I'm like, okay, that's one start. Because pitchers pitch every 4 to 5 days, so you're missing maybe 1 game that you're going to pitch.
Right, but the main point of this is the autonomy that hockey and baseball have.
Yeah, there's
more
of
it.
Players police themselves.
Right, over football and basketball
has no to where you can go and fight someone because then you're going to get kicked out of the game.
Yeah,
you're going to
basketball.
Get suspended.
Basketball, you can't even in college basketball. You can't bow up on.
Swing.
No, you can't swing. You can't bow up on them.
Like you're gonna hit somebody.
Like you can't.
Yeah, it's like taunting, kind of.
It's taunting, and then if they were like that shows intent,
aggression or something
to like hit them. And I'm like, they're
over the top.
They're talking, but then you really got to start.
But I guess it keeps it from escalating to it.
Right, because now it's on the refs with hockey. Okay,
the refs can control so much.
The refs control
the start taking it into their own hands.
Right, but baseball was able to just kind of be like, you know what, the ref gave us this warning, told us that you hit our guy, we hit your guy.
Anything after this, you're going to get kicked out.
Right, now they're trying to police it harder. Hockey, I don't want them to take that away.
Yeah, I still want the refs to...
The refs are going to make the call.
Some players always say that whenever I'm out on the ice. They're like, oh, you got to keep this under control. I'm like, it's not my job to keep it under control. I do as much as I can. I call the penalties that I see. But... it's up to the players to not be stupid.
Okay, it's like the elbow. Okay, right now, he elbows him. There's no call. Option 2 for hockey is there's going to be a fight.
That's the president where, like, well, now we can just kind of do whatever because they're not going to call that.
Right, but now the players have the ability to where you can fight the guy, you can be more physical. Basketball, if someone does that and you're like, oh, I don't get a call, all you can do is just yell at the ref.
Yeah, because you can't go back and do the same thing because they'll call it against you.
Right.
But... hockey, it kind of sets it to where, like, okay, this is the level that we can play at tonight. They're going to let us get away with this.
Yeah, hopefully. And that's what, I mean, there's that.
But then if they call a penalty on him, he's going to get upset and be like, why did you miss the elbow at the other end?
They'll talk about that. They'll always say that.
Yeah.
But baseball, it's like, they're starting to crack down on it. So you can't even, like, let's say the next guy goes up there against the opposing team and he drags his foot too.
Tossed.
Yeah, he's getting tossed that game. I'm like, no, that's a
and
1 for
another game.
To me, that's a 1-for-1. That's not like.
Well, if they didn't get it the first time,
what makes they're going to get it the second time, no doubt.
They're going to get it the second time, but they're not going to punish the first guy that did it because.
No, I'm just saying that's a 1-for-1. That makes it kind of even.
That makes it even. But sometimes teams are like, oh, that doesn't make it even because he didn't do it intentionally.
But then that adds to the story plot.
Yeah, and it just builds up the rivalry.
Right, I'm all about that because when players are able to kind of police themselves. And we're not relying on, oh, well, now you've been warned. I'm like, no, the guy missed the call. There's a fight.
Yeah.
That's where the logic comes in.
It's like take Toronto and Texas.
Maybe.
The Blue Jays and the Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm still mad I didn't go to that game.
I was not disappointed.
Oh.
I still got pictures on my phone.
The only one that got to see that. I've never seen a fight at a baseball game.
I have.
In person.
I'm all about it. I'm all about the riot.
I did see in playoffs. It just builds it because stuff like that happens in the regular season. Then you play each other in the playoffs, and it just ramps up the intensity even more.
Right, but now I don't know. I think baseball's still trying to crack down on the rules for players because now you're not.
They're still trying to figure it out. They haven't.
But
really gotten it.
You don't need that, dude. You don't need that. The refs don't need to try to take more control.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. The refs don't need to take control over that. So when you go, well, like that elbow, okay, he missed it. I'm not saying go out there and elbow a guy.
I think it's that way in baseball because baseball, like with pitchers, they know they can locate their pitches.
Yeah.
It's like they throw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball and it hits a guy in the head and injures him. I think that's worthy of a longer suspension because there's intent. You're trying to hurt somebody.
Right.
It's like I understand somebody throws it low, they get him in the ribs, they get him in the back. You're throwing it towards the head, then it takes it to a different
Well, we can all agree no headshots.
Yeah.
Like, but throw it inside.
Yeah, they're throwing it inside. They're trying to maybe, if not hit them, they're backing them off the plate, send a message.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I'm
Two
saying,
different
like,
sports.
Manny could have had, like, the next time he's up at bat,
Oh, yeah. He can,
a little bit on the inside.
Yeah.
But, that's not going to happen because they're
No,
the
then he
umps are.
crowds the plate more. He comes up there, he's like, hit me.
Yeah,
I don't care.
hit him.
It's like, I already got away with mine, so. What are you going to do to me? Put me on base? I might score a run.
Just tag him in the ankle.
Just hit him in the back of the calf.
Yeah, just right in the ankle. Stumble him, but yeah. And then the fighting rules changed too, to where it's like you can't even take off your own helmet. I think, now...
They had it to where a couple years ago, they're like, you have to remove your helmet, and now it's like, you have to keep your helmet on. If you take it off, it's extra 2 minutes.
And I disagree with that.
I think they're like, oh, we're trying to, I guess, make it not look as staged, but they're like, oh, we're trying to prevent head injuries too. I'm like, well, it's a fight, so you're going to get punched in the face.
Like, that's the equivalent of boxing going, you know what, we're really trying to not make you have any more concussions. I'm like, dude, the guy gets paid millions of dollars to get punched in the face. Well, he gets paid not to get punched, but when he does get punched, it's probably in the face.
Yeah.
Or in the ribs.
On the side of the head.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we want to, like, but that's so stupid to me. Like, two guys know. Like, what was it? Shaw? Was it Shaw a couple years ago? Was it a year ago? Where he jumped the guy from behind? Am I thinking of that right?
Somebody I know Burroughs did it to somebody.
Yeah, like that.
Burroughs tackled a guy and then kneed him in the back of the head.
Yeah, that. We don't
got 10-game suspension for that.
Right, we don't want that. That's uncalled for. But I'm saying when you line, the most recent one we saw was probably Ben, that we both saw, was Ben and Wood.
That was a good one.
That was good. And here's the thing, both guys know, like, okay, I'm going to fight. You have a couple seconds when they talk about it. Okay, you want to go? Okay, let's go. Won those, I think you can let them take off their own helmet.
Yeah, it's like, well, they're going to fight, so it's not like an anger thing.
When it starts breaking out in the middle of play, and both guys start, they still go at it.
Yeah. I think on those, when it's more spontaneous,
the helmet.
Helmets are going to either come off or stay on.
Yeah.
Just from the fight. They're not going to take them off.
I still want them to take them off the face-off. Now, I think they've done a better job on, we want more speed into the game. So we don't want people fighting on face-offs. You have to wait till the puck drops. Yeah. And if the puck has to be dropped and they're going to fight...
Which some of them are not staged, but they're like, oh, we're going to fight. But if you do it before the face-off, that pretty much shows that you're like, oh, it's a staged fight. You're going to fight beforehand.
Yeah, when it's staged, you can take your helmet off. I think that's the argument. When it's staged, you should be able to take your helmet off.
If it's right off the face-off and two guys are just squaring up, it's not like they get into the corner, like you said, and there's a scrum or something, and they come out and they start fighting.
That's what I want. I want
Ben and Thornton a couple of years ago, where he's like, "Hey, you want to take your helmet off?" Yeah, I'll take my helmet off, and they both take them off.
Yeah, there's a gentleman's agreement to it.
It's like, well, if one's going to take it off, the other has to agree. If not, then they won't take them off.
I think it's more personal choice.
It's between the players.
Dude, Alexiak doesn't care.
No.
Alexiak will beat you.
I'm just saying,
with your helmet, with his fist. He doesn't care. There's players that don't care. And I think for the players that don't care, they should have the option of, okay, it's a stage fight. I want to take my helmet off. I don't care if he takes his off. But if he headbutts me, we got an issue.
Yeah, make it like a personal thing or whatever, where the player wants to take
If it's staged, you get the personal issue. If it's in the middle of play.
Yeah. I think just what you were talking about, though, with Ben and Thornton and stuff, I'm like, they just agree between each other. Like, well, do you want to take your helmet? It's like, yeah, I'll take my helmet off. So the other guy takes his helmet off.
It's great classic
Westernization.
If you agree to
it, fine. If you don't agree to it, then I can do whatever I want. I can take my helmet off if I want to. You can.
That's the beauty of the West. That's the great thing of the West. It's gentlemen's agreements. Again, I think the greatest president, Andrew Jackson.
Dueling president?
Yes. Dude, he died with a bullet in him still. He didn't care.
That's a president.
Yeah, he didn't care. He didn't care. Oh, you wanna do a duel? Yeah. He's like, the only rule there was 10 paces, turn and shoot. You can have been like, dude, you can bring 2 pistols. I'll still beat you with mine. Yeah, and that's what I want from this. Because, okay, gentleman's agreement with it. Because, again, this kind of translates back into everything trending towards sports. I think football has a really, really big influence on other sports. Because when they started adding more cameras in the NFL, everyone else got cameras.
Yeah, everything is under. Well, it kind of happened with the XFL. With Vince McMahon.
Well,
they had the camera that's on the cable.
Yeah.
And they start bringing that into the NFL and everything else.
Right. So the XFL led into the
baseball,
NFL.
Like you said, baseball, now they got cameras in the dugouts. They got cameras in the bullpen. They're everywhere,
Yeah.
24/7.
They have those team cameras, like behind the B,
Yeah, they have their own shows.
in the pin.
Their own production crews.
Yeah, they have their own stuff now, and I'm fine with it. I'm not arguing.
I'd
but-
put more behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
Makes it more interesting. You get a backstory to things.
and it's becoming more. But the NFL or the XFL that led into the NFL being able to do this
It started it all.
has started it all. And the other thing that's
They're
happened,
trendsetters.
they are the NFL are huge trendsetters. Because you remember this when the NFL was trying to ban Ray Rice
Mhm.
for clocking his fiance. The NFL was like, "Oh, we don't know what to do with it." I mean, the NFL botched it.
Yeah.
Period.
It was
Voinov
not good.
gets domestic abuse
He's done.
done because the NFL went through this, and the NFL is able to do these circus acts and survive because other sports can't do it.
Because they're like the most popular sport. Even if something bad happens and they botch something, they know their
People-
base fans are going to come back.
You're still going to watch.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The NHL cannot do that.
No. They're like,
NBA
we can't
cannot
take a
do
chance
that.
because we're out of the four major sports. I would say hockey is probably at the bottom. It's like football, basketball, baseball, hockey.
I would argue soccer is in there. It
And
flares
soccer.
up.
Soccer too. I
But-
mean, soccer is a widely watched sport. So.
Yeah. But
But the NHL doesn't have as much room to
to do
screw
anything.
things up.
Right. So when the NFL started focusing on concussions, every other sport now worries
I don't think
about.
the NFL cares about concussion.
No, they don't.
And neither does the NHL's bad at Gary Bettman and them too, saying that there's no studies to link CTE with hits to the head or anything like that in the NHL. I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they've done plenty of studies.
There's plenty of studies out there for brain
I
stuff.
think it's more common in NFL because they're hitting with their. It's like if the helmets weren't so like heavy, not heavy, but they're designed to take hits in the NFL. NHL, you're not meant to hit with your helmet.
Sports science has some.
The way football used to
Yeah.
be back in the day, they're like you just lean your head down and
No.
drive a guy.
Um.
Hockey's more shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. Hockey.
There's speed going into it. You're not just like you're not getting tackled every play either.
Yeah. It's a different thing. It's completely different. But I'm saying, like, concussion-wise, everyone's like, oh, we got to worry about these concussions. We got to worry about these concussions. And we got to worry about player safety, which is why we're going to make them wear visors, which is why we're not going to let them fight as much.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows what you got into.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're playing that sport because you love that sport and you know the risks that come with it.
yeah, early 2000s, we had fighters, and everyone's like, oh, they're getting rid of fighters in the game. No, the game's changing because you're making the rules.
It's like no, they're trying to police it more.
They're policing it more. And
They're not letting the players settle their own.
different because
stuff.
now you don't need people that are just straight fighters. You want big guys.
Yeah, because I've
Still.
heard the argument too that people hate the instigator rule. It's like, well, of course there's going to be an instigator in something.
No,
In a
you can't.
fight, they're like, there's no point like when a guy hits one of your superstars and the guy goes up and is like, hey, you want to fight, and he drops the gloves, but he gets the instigator. I'm like, you know that's going to happen.
You know, no,
Like, there's no point in putting an instigation penalty in there.
yeah, you don't need to police that.
He's standing up for his player.
Yeah, don't police that. Get rid of that rule. That rule's dumb. There's a couple rules I disagree with, and I wrote them down in here. But again, the sports trend of, okay, we care about concussions. Everyone's like, oh, we got to worry about this. Do you think boxers worry about that?
No.
Someone would be like, hey, kid, you want to box? And he's like, oh, you're having the time of your life. And he goes, hey, by the way, you can't hit that guy in the head anymore. Because if you get hit in the head, you obviously lose brain cells and memory, and you lose the ability to speak and form thoughts. It happens. Your brain is such a weird thing, but
They're playing.
you know what
because
it
they wanna
is.
Play.
You know what it is. Now, the ones where they were like, okay, stop hitting people in the head with sticks, yeah, agree. There's things we can agree
I
with.
understand it too. Like you don't want in the NHL for it to be the principal point of contact. It's not like a lot of guys are going out and trying to hit somebody straight in the head. Sometimes they hit them in the chest, the follow through goes up, and they get hit in the jaw or something that causes a concussion. I'm like, that's just kind of part of the follow through of the hit.
Yeah, when Wilson trucked that penguin in front of the bench the other last playoff series, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it was a headshot." And I'm like, to me, it looked like he hit shoulder first.
Started like right here, and then he drove. They're like, "Well, he ended up off." I'm like, "Yeah, he ended up off his feet, but he didn't start off his feet. He was started on the ice, and then I guess they say he launched himself, which he ended up getting suspended for that too.
Yeah,
he launched himself upwards into the guy, which caused the injury.
And it's such a weird thing.
It's so hard to tell at high speed.
First off, you can't really stop physics because it goes back down to, well, we got to protect our quarterbacks, and if our quarterbacks equal star players in the NHL, we don't. I agree. We don't want Pettersson getting slammed to the ice.
I get that.
But pretty soon you're gonna be like, well, we don't want him.
Routine plays.
We don't want him to be hit. We don't want him to be hit. We don't want him to be hit. You can't hit him because you're too big.
It's like, well, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, what exactly is going to happen now? Because here's the thing. People get injured in beer league, and first off, not the best skaters. I get that. Terrible example, but they're going to collide into each other.
Yeah, it's just...
Dude, people move at turtle speed out there, and they still run into each other.
Yeah. It's like, can you imagine at the NHL? These guys are flying at like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah. And some of them collide with their own teammates. Like, injuries happen, but, like, you can't...
Or they go to hit one of the guys on the other team and end up hitting a teammate. It's like, it happens.
It happens, and I can't stress that enough, but...
Or, like, I get that way with knee-to-knee hits, too. I'm like, not all those are intentional. I'm like, some of them, they come in to hit the guy, and he moves out of the way, or he moves off to the side trying to get around him with the puck, and his leg ends up being left behind.
And so then it goes down to the replay of things. Because, again, the NFL brings in replay. Now everyone else wants to be able to bring in replay. First they brought camera angles, which is thankful. Mm-hmm. I'm happy about that. They bring in camera angles. Now they bring in this concussion worry thing, which is fine. And now you got to adapt. Because, look, you got to make it safer. I agree. We want things to be safer. And they're like, what about the children? Fair. We want the children to be safer. I'm like, again, Peyton Manning didn't...
Some people make that decision, too. They're like, they watch all this stuff and hear all the studies and everything. They're like, I'm not going to let my kid play football.
Yeah, no, Joe Rogan's fine. I'll use Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was a great fighter, and he goes, look, I'm not going to continue because my body...
Can't take it.
Can't take it anymore, and I don't want to be able to, like...
I want to be able to think when I'm, like, 50.
Yeah, that's what he said. And, I don't know, I was watching a clip, and he goes, MMA would be the funnest sport in the world if your body didn't break down.
Yeah. That's any sport.
Yeah, I'm like, I agree to where you could...
Heck, we could talk about NFL. It's like we need to take out hits to the knees, which I have,
dude, that makes me
Dude,
that makes me so worried every time.
Well, you see a guy go around all the time and guys just dive down low. They dive down low. I'm like, I think the hits to the knees are more dangerous than the hits to the head. Because that ends people's careers.
Dude, it's gotten so ridiculous because you're now asking like a 5'9" corner to go hit a walking refrigerator.
Yeah.
Who's like 6'4".
Good luck.
Yeah, you hit him in the chest, you're going to bounce off of him. You need him to go down.
So you got to attack him around the feet.
You got to hit him in the legs.
Knees.
Yeah, you got to hit him in the legs. And like...
I get it. I don't know.
I mean, I get the pushing out of bounds, but it's starting to slight towards the defense. So this also brings me, again,
It's getting harder to play defense.
It's getting harder to play defense, and it's going to be the same in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use the two examples I have, because we talked about the face-offs, and we talked about fighting. The NFL has leaned more towards offense. Now everybody wants offense. Hockey wants offense. Hockey had that issue a while ago.
Thank God they got rid of the two-line pass rule.
They got rid of the two-line pass rule.
That's the rule in the history of the NHL. Besides the trapezoid. I don't think that creates more offense.
Makes it harder to...
I think it hinders offense.
It does. I think
from goalies that used to be able to play the puck like Brodeur and Turco, they were able to create offense.
It creates it. No, I'm saying it. If you put it again,
it can go both ways.
Keep the trapezoid. I think you're going to reverse it to where you can only play it in the corners.
I like that.
I like the idea.
There's no reason for the goalie to be behind the net.
You're not going to be able to.
If you're in the corners trying to break or cut the pass off from somebody or somebody coming into the corner, I get that. But behind the net, it's like,
dude, it's going to make it so much easier.
Back there,
it's going to make it so much easier to run, dump, and chase.
Yeah.
Because now the goalie's not going to just lean against the wall and have it hit him.
Yeah.
I think it would be great.
He's got to get to the corner first.
Got to get to the corner, and then he has to make a play, and then he's further away from the net.
Yeah, so he's got to skate further.
Right.
I like that.
I think that's a brilliant idea. But they made the nets bigger. Remember, they increased the net size, and then they made the goalie pad smaller.
And I think that they made them thinner too.
But I think
the net's bigger, but they made them thinner on the back.
They did that.
That creates more space behind the net.
Yeah, because they're trying to lean heavy offense. Because the NFL's like, we really, really want heavy offense.
Mm-hmm.
Two things are always going to be true for the NFL. One, you're going to win games in the line. And two, running is important. Your run game is important. Two things are true in hockey. Physical play, battling in front of the net would equal line play.
Yeah. And
being able to do board work would equal would be running. Because you chip it in, hit the guy, break him down. It's essentially what, and so you're trying to eliminate, you kind of eliminated the dump and chase.
It's more of a rush offense.
You make it more of a, you have to come in with control.
Or come in and set up.
Yeah, and people are already starting to do that because of
the drop, the dreaded drop pass.
No, because of puck possession.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised that's not a stat either.
They translate it to time of possession on ice.
Time of possession.
It's a stat. It's a weird looking stat.
Yeah. I don't know. They're just for so long, they're like, hockey is such a game of possession that they didn't have a stat for it. It's mind-boggling.
They have a stat for it now. It's weird. I would have to see if we can.
It's somewhere probably.
I think it's within games. Let's see.
Because I know they moved to more. Every team has an analytics person now.
Yeah.
Which I humble brag here. Talked to Ralph a couple years ago. Whenever they had the Stars had their season ticket holder event.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just don't know about all the analytics and stuff like that because they're moving towards it more. And he's like, everybody's got to jump on the wagon. People got to get into analytics more. I'm already terrible at math, and so there's a negative there. But they just break it down so much with Corsi and everything else. I'm like, I'd have to read through everything to try and understand it.
You can already break down a player's time on ice, and you're the shot taken and the type of shot, location of it. You miss shot, giveaway. You can translate giveaways too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Scoring. They have it on. I was looking at it, face-off win percentage. I swear they had time on night puck possession was. I would find it for you if I could. I know it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure they keep track of it.
But the NFL went to analytics. We translate to analytics.
Because they have that in NFL too. It's time of possession, time of the drive, different things like that to see which team has been controlling the game.
Yeah, and that's such an influence on it. And
the team that's had the puck most of the game, despite the score or maybe despite the shots on goal.
Yeah, shots on goal
controlled the game.
Has controlled it. Shots on goal is the big teller.
Yeah. Shots on goal is kind of controlled, but just the possession of the puck.
Also, yeah. So that would change it too. But so they went bigger nets, smaller pads. My thing is now the hooking.
It's gotten so ticky-tacky.
And it's
bad.
I get it.
It's so hard to call because guys will argue, well, it's a stick lift. I'm but you got him up around the hands. I'm it's still on the stick, but then you have some where the guy's stick is just parallel.
Yeah.
Gives them a little tug on the side, and they're like, that's a hook. And I saw two in the game the other night. I can't remember who was playing, but I'm like, that's not a hook to me.
Yeah, to me, I was like, look, some of these hooks are very questionable, no doubt.
I get it if you get it into the hand. I think, any play, if you turn the stick over, it's going to be a hook. But, somewhere they just get it up a little bit, it's near the hand. I'm like, I get those, but some are just it's a tap on the side.
And it's leaning more towards offense. It goes back down to NFL can't play defense.
He taps him hard on the side with the stick, and the guy loses the puck. Then they're like, oh, it's a hook or it's a slash. No, it's just knocking the puck off the guy's stick.
Dude, and slashing.
Yeah.
Stupid to me. First off, our sticks have changed dramatically in the past 10 years.
Not as heavy anymore.
Not as heavy. And they snap in half.
Oh, yeah. They break so much more easily.
And I'm like, look, when someone goes in, I've seen someone go in and they went along the board battles and one dude's stick just broke. Yeah. And they go, oh, that's slashing? Because cross-checking because you broke the guy's stick?
No, the stick was about to break anyways.
I'm like, look, to me, slashing is...
Or I've seen a guy
straight.
I get it. It was against the Stars. I'm a Stars fan. But the guy comes in and he comes over and whacks the guy with one hand on his stick, and his stick breaks. And I'm like, it's a one-handed slash, kind of. I'm like, the stick is going to break.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
I'm like, one-handed slashes are questionable.
They're getting,
I'm like, he's not coming in over the top two-handing somebody. He's
Yeah.
just like a tap, and the stick ends up breaking.
Like the little taps like that, where you're kind of
Like,
tapping
the
them.
sticks get hit so much during the game that it just wears them down to where eventually one tap and they end up breaking.
Yeah, like the one-handed stuff, I'm like, that shouldn't be it. The one-handed hooking, that shouldn't be it. I'm like, oh, they're parallel and it's in the hands. I'm like, but did he tug
Did he
him?
hook him? Like, did he tug him? Like, I get it. I hate that.
Technically-
When they say it's like, well, he got the stick up and he got it parallel. I'm like,
Technically,
not a
that's your
hook.
rule. Technically, that's your rule. You're forgetting the pull. I go, if he goes to shoot and he pulls him and he can't shoot,
if he
hook
either
him.
like creates a turnover or he takes away a scoring chance, then it's a hook. I'm like, if he gets it parallel and he gets it up and he's giving taps and stuff, I'm like, I don't consider that hooking or slashing.
Dude, it's so much harder.
I
It's,
consider that trying to play defense from behind,
Yeah,
which I guess that's why they put those rules in the first place, because they want somebody to be fouled from behind. But I'm like, you can only do so much if you get beat around the outside or...
I think it's to increase offense. It's totally to increase.
It came around after the lockout, all the obstruction penalties.
Yeah.
Hooking, holding,
We want our-
slashing, holding the stick.
We want our game to be fast. We want our game to be physical. We want our game to have high scores. People are tired of seeing 1-0, 2-1 games. And I go, fine. I agree with that. So you made the nets bigger. You made the goalie pads wear smaller pads. You made the player equipment better to where it's shooting. I think we have immense amount of
Made
talent.
player pads smaller.
Yeah.
To where they can just fly on the ice.
Yeah. It's like we done so much to enhance it. Like it was going to happen either way.
It's been ridiculous this year how much offense there's been.
6, 7 goals. And I'm like, we have so much talent.
Yeah.
But you still have to play defense. And I go, I think you're eliminating parts of the game that are really defensive minded.
You're making it harder for defensemen to play because they can't use their stick. They can't come up and hit a guy because they're afraid they might hit him in the head or they might
And I'm like,
do something.
and I go, look, football's pretty clear cut. You got an offense, you got a defense. But in hockey, you definitely have two defensive players, but now they can be more offensive.
Defense can create offense, and offense can play great defense. It's like they can kind of do a little bit of both.
But all 5 guys are required to be able to play in the defensive zone.
Yeah, everybody is required not to play offense. They're required to play defense.
Yeah, they're
Everybody's
required.
got to be able to play defense at some point.
So there's that, and then it was I lost my train of thought, but yeah, it's like everyone has to play defense. So with these penalties, I think you're really hindering defense.
Yeah.
And then with time of possession, like, how do you get the puck back? And how would you, like, honestly, the rules aren't going to dramatically change. But, like, again, some of these penalties I look at, like, slashing and hooking, biggest 2. And I'm like, really? Like, that's what we're calling?
Like I've seen 10 hacks in this game that are much worse
I'm
than
like,
they call that.
And I go, really? Like, if they're hacking like that, just let that go. And I think it's part of, like, we want more offense, okay?
It's
The
all about the tone.
NFL, we want
Officials
more
want
offense,
that
yeah.
sometimes too.
Yeah, that's fine, I get that. But everyone asks for consistency.
And that's the thing too. I was like, well, if you're going to call that in the first period, you got to call it all throughout the game.
That's
And if you're not going to call it in the first period, you got to let it go the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's fine. They talk about
As long
that.
as it doesn't lead to fights and guys are two-handing people, I'm like, but little taps on it, I'm like,
Dude, even if it led to fights,
it's like that creates more entertainment.
it's entertaining.
It's going to bring more fans in.
It appeals to something. And you go, well, that's highly entertaining.
I think more people come to hockey games because they want to see fights and hits and stuff than they want to see goals.
I think people, like, again, few people we talk to, they go, yeah, isn't it like soccer? 1 or 2 goals? I'm like, it can be.
Sometimes.
Or
It can be the exact
it's opposite. Like, I don't know. You don't know
Every
what you're
shot
going
goes
to get.
in.
You don't know what you're going to get yet. And it's such a weird thing. But yeah, the face-off rules, too, lean more towards offense.
Yeah.
Like-
I know they have a rule over, and I was talking about this the other day because I think one of the Stars players got a penalty for winning the face-off with his hand.
Going down on your knee and shielding it, winning it with your hand.
Yeah, but I think over in the IIHF, because whenever I watch the World Juniors or something like that, they're only allowed to use their stick. They can't use their hands and they can't kick the puck back. They have to use only their stick or it's a penalty
I don't know if
for
the
face-off violation.
yeah. I don't know if the NHL players can kick it.
Yeah, NHL
They can-
can
okay.
kick it, but IIHF always has super strict rules because their hooking and slashing is even more brutal than NHL's are.
Oh, I get that because you're trying to get this 16, 17-year-old kid to go play
Play
professionally.
better defense or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're trying to maintain his status for his career, and I get that. But the one knee, everyone's like, you can't one knee it anymore.
Yeah.
And it used to be when you ice it, you don't get to take your timeout because if you iced it and you're the defending team, you used to be able to take your timeout to get a breather. If you break your stick, that's a delay of game. I agree with that. Even though if you're wasting too much time or you're trying to, they gave the
Make line changes.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
They were like the what is it? I want to say the Sharks or Nashville. The Sharks or Nashville did it, and they weren't really sure why they were getting a penalty.
Somebody broke a stick.
Someone broke a stick, and then the other one was trying to do a line change,
Yeah.
and they gave him a penalty for delay of game. And I agree with that. I have no problem with
I think
that.
they were trying to test. It was either after like an icing or something, and the guy was like, "Oh, I'm trying to lean," and they were trying to line it for the face-off, and he leans on it hard enough to where his stick breaks, and he goes to skate to the bench without talking to the ref, and he's like, "Delay game,"
Yeah,
because they're trying to slow it down to where the other team doesn't. They're not tired. They're trying to take a rest.
yeah. And so I agree with that, and I don't mind if your team ices it, you don't get the timeout.
Yeah,
Fine.
that creates more offense because the guys are tired.
But now, when you're in the defensive zone, even if you're at home, it used to be if you're at home, you're the home team, you get to lay your stick down second, or you get to do whatever.
Yeah. You get to come in.
This
The
you,
guy already has a stick down. You get momentum.
you get momentum. Now it's if you're in the defensive zone, your stick has to be down, and it leans slightly more again towards offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of the reason why we see even power play numbers now, or not power play, even face-off numbers. Usually they're like 53 to 40-something%. The other day it was like 49 to 51.
Yeah.
Like they're closer.
That's his number one in the league, face-off percentage.
Yeah.
55%.
But is he taking offensive draws?
I think it's mostly, like you said, defensive draws. Whenever you get an icing situation or you get stuck into a zone, you're like, I want to put out the guy that can win it into the corner, and they can either chip it out or they can kill some time.
Right, if you're a good face-off guy. So, but I'm saying, where's Spezza winning most of his draws? Because the next person's probably winning it all on offense.
Yeah.
So I think that stat line's a little misleading. But I think that rule slightly leans more towards offense because that's part of the trend of we want more offense.
Yeah.
The NFL wants more
We want
offense.
to have a good center that can win face-offs. So
We
we
want-
can get the puck back.
No, even if a terrible center goes out there, and you give them like, oh, you can have momentum on this face-off, you're giving him the
it
offensive
gives them an
advantage.
advantage over
Over-
a guy who might be 10% higher than him on face-off.
And in the
Give
defensive
him
zone.
an advantage.
I get like when you're at home, you get home ice advantage. Fine. Defense advantage. It's so weird. I think you would want.
It's rare.
I think you would want them both. I think you're going to change it to where you want both people to have their sticks down.
I think the only advantage they have, which they've changed the rules around here in USA Hockey to, I think it's 10 and under now. It may be 10 and under or 12 and under that they no longer allow icing on penalty kills. It's automatic icing. If you shoot it down the ice while on the penalty kill, it's icing now.
That's
So it doesn't allow it's giving the offense another advantage. You're not allowing the defense to be like, oh, we took a penalty, so now we can just ice it anytime we want. Now they have to get up to the red line and get the puck down deep. They have to be able to break out of their own zone.
I don't think that's ever going to come into the. That shouldn't ever come into the.
I don't think it should come in the NHL. It was just an interesting change. I'm like, it seems like it would make the game much longer, and it may create more offense or whatever, but I think it just hinders guys from being able to play defense.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's another advantage to offense instead of defense.
And that's the whole point of this trend of like sports trends. No one wants to play defense anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's so one-sided. If we can,
what-
NHL, if we can outscore our opponent, we're fine.
That's Toronto. That's Dallas.
And it
But
never
defense,
works out.
yeah. But defense wins you championships.
Always.
Period. That's the other thing that will
You can
always
score
be
as
true.
many goals as you want. If you can't keep them out, it's not going to help you.
So how do you start playing? Like I'm saying, like at some point, we're in this offensive swing of where we just want offense. At some point, someone's like, we really need defensemen because now every team has offensive defensemen.
It's like we need that shutdown defenseman.
There's no more. I think Ekblad might be the last true
Cody?
young, recently drafted defenseman.
Yeah.
Lindell can move.
Like
Heiskanen can
everybody I've
move.
heard, I'm like, Heiskanen, offensive defenseman, Gostisbehere, offensive defenseman, Carlson, Burns. Burns was a forward.
Provolov.
Buffalo, and they moved him back to defense. I'm like, they're all
Truba, offensive.
basically forwards.
Spurgeon, offensive.
That
Keith,
play defense.
offensive. Yeah, see, if you're not older.
Keith won a Conn Smythe as MVP as a defenseman, but he had like 20 points in the playoffs.
Yeah. Like Seabrook, I think Cronwall, those, like the older guys. Because I don't even consider Letang as
No, he's an offensive
the defenseman. Like, you have
Maybe
defensive
Alexiak,
defensemen.
but Alexiak's starting to pick up his offense.
Yeah. So they want more offense. So
Chara maybe.
if you're
That's
not,
enough.
but again, like let's say guys who have been in the league 5 years.
There's not many left.
There's not many. Because if you can't play offense,
Yeah.
you got to get cut. Because they
I heard
don't
that
really
on
want
another
defense.
podcast earlier too. They're like talking about Torrey Krug. Like he's such a great defenseman or whatever, but they're like coming into a system like Boston where it's more, I guess maybe defensive on the back end or something like that. They're like, be a good defenseman. You're a good defenseman. Keep your skating up or whatever, but never lose your offense because the offense is what got you to the NHL.
Yeah,
His defense got him there, but moreover, it's because he's an offensive defenseman.
because he can create.
It's not a shutdown game, which he can play or whatever, but it's because he can create offense as well.
And I think that's what's doing in L.A. right now. Excuse me. I think that's what's doing in L.A., St. Louis. They're teams.
It's just a trend now.
They're teams that are known for being really stingy on defense 6 years ago. Now,
And even St. Louis. Guys like Pietrangelo and Parayko, I'm like, they have
Parenko's more offensive than you think he
great
is.
shots
Yeah,
from the point. They use their shots. They're
Parenko can move.
offensive.
Pietrangelo, I don't see Pietrangelo moving, but they're looking for people that are creating offense on the back end. And I'm like, there's going to get a point to where we actually are going to need defense.
Yeah. Because you talk about like Dallas or somebody that puts Klingberg or Heiskanen out there on a power play, I'm like, they're basically working as a fifth forward.
Fifth,
They
fourth,
can sit
yeah.
back on defense if you need them to.
And I go, but they're groomed to play defense a little bit. When you put Burns and Carlson out there, you
You're
have
looking for offense.
you have no more. You have defensemen, and I go, Carlson actually can play defense.
Yeah.
Hedman can actually play defense. Hedman is a little more, I think, conservative than Carlson is when it comes to jumping in.
He doesn't have the speed. I don't think that Carlson... He has speed, but not as much as Carlson has.
But
So
when
Carlson can go all the way down, create offense, and have enough speed to get back and back check.
But even with Hedman, they put Stallman with him, and Stallman's more of a defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to really have as many. Like, I don't think there's not that many left.
Yeah. Every position now is geared towards creating offense.
And because, I mean, again, the NFL wants offense. Defensive players can't really create offense unless, of course, you're a corner, and now you're not allowed to touch the guy, and now you're not allowed to do
These
this.
penalties, which
It leads,
just tracks them down the field to where they score more.
yeah. It's getting ridiculous. Now when you touch a guy in hockey and you, like, barely give him a hook, 2 minutes, offensive advantage.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, this is where I was going to go earlier with these calls. Replay them. You have replay. I know it slows the game down. Either change it to where, like, the hooking call where it's at now isn't hooking, which I don't think it really is. The description of the rule makes it seem like, yes, that's hooking. When you watch it applied,
Maybe change the wording.
or
just how it's applied.
yeah, when it's applied, it's terrible to me. I'm like, that's not really a hook. Like, that's squirrely. Why not look at it? Like, we now have replay.
I think...
And you can't coaches challenge it. You only do offsides and goaltender interference.
Yeah.
If you could coaches challenge some of these hooking calls, and like, that would A, slow the game down tremendously, but B, now you know the call's right.
I think there's only two things that you should be able to challenge, and that's high sticking and delay game. Ones that are pretty clear cut. Like hooking, it's all about like, well, is this a hook to this ref? Is it a hook to that ref? But like high sticking, you can kind of tell if a guy throws his head back, he embellishes or something. Delay game, you can tell if it glances off the glass or it hits a guy's stick. I'm like, I think I know NCAA, the only thing they can review on penalty, because they're like the only hockey league I know that can review penalties. The only thing they can review is to whether it's a minor, a double minor, or a major in a game. Like if somebody gets hit from behind, they can go on the video and review it and determine whether it's either like a 2 and a 10 for checking from behind or it's a 5 in a game for a game misconduct.
Well, they look at when it's shot out of play. They'll look at it, but I think that comes from upstairs.
Well, I think in NHL and stuff, they're not allowed on delay a game.
To
The
look at
officials
it,
just have to get together.
I
Whoever
think,
had the best angle.
yeah, I think they get. Well, I mean, they get together, but I thought it came from upstairs.
No.
I think you could do that now. I think you could hand
not
that over
anymore.
to not anymore.
Mm-mm.
I think you could go back to it. Like if it's
You think they should be able to?
if it's shot out of play,
I think they should be able to review.
and they review it upstairs, like within 2 minutes in the NFL, every review comes from
last 2
upstairs.
minutes comes from upstairs.
Yeah. But when you're shooting the puck out of play for hockey, they have TVs, they have guys,
Yeah, but the refs aren't allowed to like look at the scoreboard. They're not allowed to
but they got the penalty box
talk
light.
upstairs either on delay game.
No, the
They
delay
have
a
to
game
get
would make the
together with the
call.
linesmen and the referees.
I think
but
that'll-
you would think that upstairs should make the call.
Yeah, the upstairs could phone down and be like, "Hey, you missed this. It's a delay a game."
Yeah, it's like this one or this one hit off the glass. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
a penalty or something like that. Give them like you have a minute max to look at it or something like that.
When they're huddling and you go, "Okay, if it's a call, it's a call." When you're huddling, I think they look at it, and then if their call matches, you move on with the day. But if it's different, you go, "Look, man, we have different camera angles. We looked at it. You guys got this one wrong. This guy is in. This guy's out."
I think that should be a rule too in the NHL. Is there should be a limit on the length of reviews.
You said
The same with MLB too. I'm like, I understand they want to get the right call, but I'm like, after a certain amount of time, like if you can't get it within 5 minutes, I'm like, the call should stand, whatever it was on the ice.
that's fair.
I'm like, I get on like some of these with like goalie interference or even offsides. I'm like, it shouldn't take 5 minutes. I'm like, if you can't come to a conclusion, call stands, or it's like because it's inconclusive.
I don't know about the offside. I get 5 minutes. I don't think anyone's going to take that long on a 5-minute offsides. I mean, well,
I don't know. We got it in that Buffalo game.
the Buffalo game, was that for offsides or was that for a goal? Or goaltender interference?
This is for goalie interference.
Yeah, the goalie interference
Like,
one.
and that's so.
Gray.
It's like it's. Ugh.
You,
Goal or offsides is like
offsides.
hooking and holding and stuff like that. What is this? The guy's outside the crease, but he makes contact with the goalie. Is that goalie interference?
Oh.
Because he's not in the crease, but he
Yeah.
does make contact with the goalie.
Yeah, goalie interference.
I hate that. I think that should never be goalie interference if the guy's outside the crease.
I'll.
Because I know the goalies come out to challenge or whatever, but I'm like, the player is allowed all the space outside the crease. And he's not going to make contact with the goalie if he's not in the crease.
If he purposely backs into him, I think again it's a case by case thing. But I would agree with you for the idea of okay, he's in the white, he's right on the border. The goalie comes out and challenges him
And bumps into
and
him.
bumps into him. If the goalie initiates contact, no goaltender interference. I think they've done a pretty fair job of that.
And they do it too. If a guy gets shoved in, it's not goalie interference because the guy didn't put himself into the crease or whatever.
But there's
But
like
I've seen guys where they drive by, they're not in the crease, but they're like shoulder or elbow makes contact with the goalie's head, knocks it to the side for a second, and then a shot goes in. And they're like goalie interference. I'm like, that one, it could go either way.
that one goes either, but it depends on how well the goalie sells it. Because I see some where they get bumped and they just spin,
they
and I'm
sell
like,
it.
you sold that. I don't really
Or
want.
the ones where they get bumped and like 5 seconds later they get scored on.
Yeah.
Like, did they have a reasonable amount of time to get back and play their position?
Hey.
Those are in more gray area.
Yeah, the
all
offsides is
judgment
black and white.
calls.
Yeah, offsides is black and white. Now we have cameras on the line.
Sometimes.
No, you have cameras on the line.
Like some of them, like they're so close.
Some of those are
and
close.
you have the ones where they're like, oh well, now they think they should change the rule to where if his foot is over, like it's not on the blue line, but it's over the area of the blue line, or it's over the neutral zone, but it's not on the ice. It should be onside. I'm like, that's just trying to make the linesman's job even more difficult.
No, dude,
They're
keep your
like,
foot
oh,
off the
his
ground.
foot is back here in neutral ice, but it wasn't on the ice. I'm like, well, if it's not on the ice, it's offsides because your body's in before the puck is.
Your foot now becomes a.
But there's so much to where,
Object.
like, well, did the puck fully cross the blue line before his body? And it's so
No,
difficult.
you're not making this a pylon, where
Yeah.
the pylon is inbounds, out of bounds, represents.
It's like all it has to do is cross that much. Like hockey, it has to fully.
Yeah.
That's the difference between both of them. On goals and offsides, it has to completely cross the line.
No, it's like NFL foot with the foot rule. Dude, 2 feet in.
Yeah, 2 feet in. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
2 feet on the ice.
Control
Not hard.
the ball.
2 feet on the ice. Not hard. Do
That's
it.
the thing too. Is like 2 feet, or 1 foot, I guess, either on the blue line or in the neutral zone, and control the puck. That's another thing too with the offsides.
Yeah,
you have to have control and possession.
You're coaching people to do that now. You're coaching people to just
Like-
ride the blue line.
It's like that's what they heard the other night on that one game when they challenged with Colorado. Like they're teaching guys in practice now. They're like, if you're unsure, drag your foot. Like you're coming into the zone, you better drag that foot to stay onside.
Yeah, that's
Since
fine.
It's a challengeable play now.
Because if you're offsides and you score, the play never existed.
Yeah, but I get the argument too if a guy comes in and he's offsides and they keep the puck in the zone for a minute and a half. They're like, did the offsides really affect the goal?
Yeah, because if you're offsides, then the play never happened.
I get that part, but I'm like, it's
That's it.
about
It's that simple. Even if I
possession,
agree
though.
or disagree, if you maintain possession
like,
for a
they're
minute in
for
the
a
zone,
minute or so, they're like, did
they
the
put the
offsides-
time back up on the clock.
I'm like, but the offsides, did it really affect the play to where, like, well, this team was going to score?
I mean, I agree. Like,
I get it, because, like, if it's offsides, the play, it ends right there.
yeah,
You don't keep the puck in the zone, but I get the other side of it, too.
I get where. Oh, well, it's a minute. Does it really affect anything? And I'm like,
It's like, well,
I get it,
they
but
wouldn't
you
have
get your
established
minute.
time in the zone because they wouldn't have.
Yeah, you could, but they already have that momentum though.
Yeah,
If you have a minute of zone time and you score and then you're offsides, you still have that momentum of the goal, and you feel slightly jaded. So I think you're
It's
really
like
going to score in the
you
next
get it
minute.
taken back, but like you said, you still have that momentum to where you can come back and like, well, we dominated that play anyways. We're going to come back and do the same thing.
And you're jaded because remember when they waved off the goal in Pittsburgh,
Oh, yeah. It's
and Dallas came
lit a
right.
fire under 'em.
Yeah, Dallas came right back in 30 seconds and scored. I'm like, that's usually what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be a fight.
I think that one was for goal.
It was
I've
goal-
seen it in goal to
the
interference
interference,
because
too.
he got shoved in
Yeah,
to the goalie and took him out, and the guy comes in, gets a rebound. They're like, oh no, goal interference. That just like we're going to get it right back.
but to me, the offsides thing is pretty black and white. You either are or you're not.
Yeah.
I go, there's so much gray with tripping because people just feel the stick and they fall. Slashing because the sticks break too easy. Hooking because your stick is now level with a
Or
guy.
guys sell it too. They twist around or they go down.
And now they're holding sticks too.
Yeah.
Like, call holding the stick.
That's the thing too. It was like so many guys, you see it all the time, they're fending a guy off and they're holding the stick while they got one hand on their stick and they're dragging the puck. I'm like, that's holding.
Yeah.
That's clear cut. He's got a hold of the stick
Yeah.
like that.
Just start calling that, and then
And the guys too, that's the thing with hooking too. A guy gets his stick parallel. That may not be called hooking, but a guy,
chicken wings it. Yeah,
he just grabs it right down. They're like, he goes down to the ice, or the guy lets go of his stick, and then the official's like, well, he had the stick, it shouldn't have been in his arm.
yeah, it's parallel. I'm like, dude, you gotta play defense. Gotta play
I
defense.
think on those it should be called both. I'm like hooking and holding the stick.
Those are my only because everything else is so subjective
Yeah,
of whether or not that is. But offsides,
yeah, that's either
You
your
either-
skate blade's on the ice or it's not.
what is it? You either is.
you either is or you ain't.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm like, everything else, okay, leave it up to the officials, let them judge. Whatever. We did that. Now, the other thing that I think would be beneficial to offense, I'm throwing this out there. I know I want defense still. Again, my biggest issues, slashing, hooking.
Yeah.
Everything else, whatever. If we want more offense, why not just make the ice bigger?
Like they do in Europe.
Yeah, make it bigger. You'll take
It's like
checks
there's
away.
So much more space
Yeah,
to work.
you'll take checks away. You actually won't hook as much.
And it opens the ice up so much more.
There'll be so much more offense. I like the smallness of it because it's right. It's you got to
It
be.
forces you to play more towards the inside
Yeah,
than it does the outside, like it does over in Europe.
yeah. But not just make it like Europe size. Just
Just a little bit.
a little bit. You could see that happening.
It's like add like maybe 5 feet on each side.
Do you think that's going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen. Not anytime soon.
I think they might. Maybe 2-3 feet, kind of.
I think, but I wouldn't care about the length. I'm like, make the rink a little bit wider.
I think they go 3 feet wide, 2 feet back.
Yeah. Something like that. I'm like, Which the one behind the goal line, that creates more space behind the net, too.
Yeah.
For people to work or whatever. But I think opening up, because, like, whenever you watch the Olympics, or you watch something like that, I'm like, the ice seems so much bigger.
You don't need any more.
And I think it's a total of, like, 8 feet wider. I'm like, but it makes a lot of difference.
You don't,
that 4 feet on each side.
You don't want it to be further apart because then you're not going to get offense.
Yeah.
You want it to be a little bit wider.
Those periods where there's the long change, it's even longer for you to get off the ice.
Yeah, you're not going to go too long. You might blow it out a little bit. But I could see them making ice bigger. We talked about goalie interference and the coach's challenge. I'm still a big fan about it. I think you should be able to challenge hooking. Or just make it better. Challenge a penalty. I know you get one, and you usually, for offsides and goaltender interference.
Yeah, and then the rest are, like, initiated.
Kind of thing. But with the hooking
thing...
Except
for offside, because, like, once you use it or whatever and you don't have a challenge, offsides, it doesn't matter.
With the hooking thing, if the guy grabs on his stick, because they're starting to grab on now, like chicken wing it.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a penalty.
The guy's arm down.
Yeah, he's initiating contact. You can review. I think you should be able to start reviewing that. And I know that slows the game down, and we don't want the game to slow down.
I always get that argument. I understand the argument, but people are always like, "Oh, it's going to slow the game down." I'm like, but wouldn't you rather the call be right than to like let the game keep going the way that is, and more calls are going that way down the line?
No, they don't want that.
Because it happens in baseball too. I'm like, I understand it. Like, it takes a while with the review sometimes, but like, wouldn't you want the call to be right?
I want the call.
Say it's a World Series game or something like that. Guy's safe at first. They call him safe at first, and he's out. I'm like, well, that completely reverses the momentum of the inning. Because now instead of having a guy maybe on first with nobody out, you got nobody on base, and there's 2 outs or something like that.
No, I want it. I want the calls to be right. I think we can all agree we want the calls to be right. And that's like saying, okay, we want evidence to support your facts, but no one wants to wait anymore. Yeah. They want it instantly.
It's like, well, you're guilty now. We'll see if they can prove you innocent.
Yeah, well, that's a different topic, but
that's a whole other.
That's a whole other topic. But that's what I'm saying. Like I just want it to be right. You're already there for 2 to 3 hours or 2.5 hours.
Just take an extra 2 minutes.
You already know you're going to be there. You're already at that event. It's not like football where every play they get a little rest.
Yeah, or basketball.
God
forbid you have 12 timeouts on the side.
Dude, get rid of the timeouts in basketball. That would make the game so much easier. So that's my thing. Now, the other trend that is happening now.
Hot trend.
Hashtag hot trend.
I have to get off of more serious topics than suspensions and rule changes.
NFL hiring new coaches all around the league, all young, all aggressive.
I like it.
What does the NHL do? Young, aggressive. Makes it entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Boston.
Allows the kids to play.
Yeah, well, I think the Ottawa, Guy Boucher's guys, he's more defensive structured, and he's just like, if I try to make you young kids play defense, you're not going to succeed. Therefore, we're just going to go out there and go.
Make the team much worse.
Yeah, so he just lets them play. I think that's smart. The new coaches, Dallas, Montreal, Carolina, Vegas, Boston. Philly had a new coach. Philly's like the new old coach. And Vancouver, and I think Calgary has it. There's the team. LA has a new coach, but LA is just not a prime example. New York is weird. Both New Yorks has new coaches, but Trotz is more defensive minded. Yeah. I'm saying like young, aggressive.
That way with Nashville and everything else.
Yeah, young, aggressive coaching is the new trend. Going to lead a lot of offense.
I like all the college coaches. Having players come in or coaches come in that have always worked with younger players. Or work with players that are making their game better, and they allow them to just play their game. Like the Stars, they bring in Montgomery. He's been a college coach with Denver. Like, he just allows his young players to use their speed.
Okay, but 5 years when you need defense, is he going to be the guy? That's my question. Some of these young coaches bust.
I
don't, because we don't really hear.
You need a mix of both.
You need to really mix, but I don't hear like the assistant coordinators being like, you know what, I'm the defense, because we don't glorify coaches.
They don't have a defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
really.
They have a defensive coach.
Yeah, you have a power play coach. You have a special teams, a goaltending, and then like pretty much like your head coach runs the lines.
Yeah,
and you have assistant coaches that run.
But if you're a defensive coach, like do you start, when does a defensive coach be like, you know what, without
I
this...
don't want to be too aggressive. But
No,
you
there's
don't
a fair
wanna
mix. It's
be
the
too
offensive
aggressive.
coach that sets what your lines are looking like, what your pressure's looking like. Defensively, I think you could be like, you know what, if I left this team, the defense would go down.
Mhm.
I don't know who's going to do the first move on that, because when you have a head coach, he brings in his own coaching staff. When you're in football, your defensive coordinator is his own individual.
Yeah. He has his own game.
Yeah, so
Because in football and hockey, football, the offense and defense are separated.
they're separated, but the offensive or the head coordinator, the head coach, Bill Belichick, defensive-minded, Mike Zimmerman, defensive-minded, he can be the defensive coordinator and call the defensive play calls, and then he leaves the other one to the offense. I know it's kind of a free-for-all in a way when you look at it, because one guy's like, this is the play we're running, I have 11 guys to do it. This one, you have the players making their own plays.
Yeah.
But if you're a defensive coach, do you think you have more influence?
I think you have some.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. You kind of feed off the head coach, but you try and build your own game plan that fits within his game.
But if the offensive coach is super, super heavy offensive.
Yeah, it kind of makes it difficult.
Plus, your city is known for what it's known for.
Yeah.
Boston, defense.
Philly. St.
Defense.
Louis.
Defense.
Like,
LA,
different places
defense. Anaheim, trying to build defense again. San Jose is a little more offensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my thing. The new trend right now that I've just noticed, everyone's being young, everyone's being aggressive, everybody's just like, dude.
Sometimes over aggressive.
Yeah, dude, if they score 7 goals, just score 8.
Yeah.
If they score 35
That's the Lindy
points,
Ruff method.
yeah, if they score 45 points,
Hitchcock's like, well,
score 47.
they may score 1 goal, but we're going to score 2 goals. We're going to score 1 more than them. It's kind of on both sides. It's like if you're defensive minded or offensive minded, like we just got to score 1 more
No,
than they do.
that's a simple plot line to any sport.
But like Hitchcock is like, well, we want to hold them to like 1 or nothing, basically. Or we want to get like 1 goal and 2 goal and then sit back and
I hate that.
hold. It's just so frustrating.
I hate that so
It's
much.
like 1 goalie, you're not going to hold them and 1 goal.
Dude, the ice is not big enough. It's like soccer. Oh, we'll score once and then we'll kick the ball
Or
around.
even 3 goal lead in hockey, most dangerous lead in hockey.
Yeah.
You sit back and start playing defense, and it just all the momentum rolls at you.
Yeah, here's looking at you, Winnipeg.
Anaheim.
Anaheim, Winnipeg. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I looked at it and I thought that was absolutely just silly. Just silly. But
Trends follow trends.
new trends, man. That's all I got for trends. I mean, we got third jerseys. That's the other trend, too. I love that trend.
Carolina. I don't know if they're the top. They're like number 2 for me, maybe.
Dude,
behind Anaheim.
Dude, Philly's jerseys.
Philly. The
Sharp.
black. And Sharks.
Sharp.
Kind of the same thing.
I tell you this. I honestly really hate black jerseys.
They make them work.
No. I like the look of them.
Yeah.
I think they're
I don't
nice.
like Dallas's black jersey.
Oh, dude, that was so bad. Everyone's
That
like,
may have been the worst in the history besides the fish stick Islander jerseys.
classic. Don't be
Terrible. I hate them.
5 colors on a jersey. Let's
Sorry.
do it. New standard.
I do like the New York with the Lady Liberty.
That one's nice.
I missed that one.
Dude, wear those on 9/11.
Oh yeah. Or like
Make that a
I was
tradition.
going to say July 4th. Oh yeah, you wear those July 4th if you were still playing.
Yeah. 9/11. Wear those as tribute jerseys.
Yeah.
That could be like a new tradition. Like
Commemorative jersey.
yeah.
Is that a word? Commemorative.
Yeah, Lady Liberty with your kind of dark blue, but I don't like black jerseys. I don't really like overly dark jerseys. I hate LA's jerseys where they are now.
Yeah. They need to go back to the purple and silver.
Thank you.
So bad.
Dude, go white.
Go back to the crown.
You know what? Anaheim's like, we
Purple
really...
and yellow.
You know what? Anaheim's
That's
like...
better than black.
Yeah, Anaheim's like, we're going to go purple and teal. And they go, no, we're going to go black. And then they go, no, we don't really like the black look.
It's like
We're
black
gonna...
and orange. I'm like, eh.
Dude, they've been adding more and more orange
Orange is just so
every
much.
year. And I
Maybe
hate...
we put it on the shoulders up here now, and we can add another a band around the shoulder.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I really hate it. I really hate that.
I like the purple and the green
That's fine.
and the silver of the old Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. I didn't mind that.
I love their third jerseys.
That was not... those are... Like, have those.
More purple.
LA needs more purple.
Anaheim, LA.
No, Anaheim's in Orange County.
I know. But I'm saying with like the purple and the green and the silver of like the old Mighty Ducks.
You can wear your vintage
And the
jersey.
teal.
No, you can wear your vintage jersey. That's fine. You're in Orange County. You're leaning more towards our Ducks are going to be
I do
orange.
like the which you said I don't like the orange or whatever, but I do like their full orange, where it's like the jersey is mostly orange and the shoulders are black.
Yeah, do that.
Instead
Edmonton's
of
orange
the
too.
reverse.
Edmonton has that blue, and then they have the other orange one. I didn't mind that. Those look better than.
Those are classic.
Yeah, those look better than what they were wearing. And San Jose, I wish they would have stayed teal in a way,
I
but
love the black.
it's a different look. It's sharp.
I
I
do
like it.
their ones that they played against Dallas in the 08 playoffs, where it was like kind of like a gold,
Brim on it.
yeah. Brim with the teal. They were mostly teal though,
Yeah,
and then white with teal.
things you can't. So, but LA needs to go back to being purple or silver. Dude, do like a nice gray.
Yeah, something.
Something you can now. We have the
Black and silver. It's like,
yeah.
it's boring.
Black and silver. Pittsburgh has gotten out of it as where they can start wearing that ugly yellow crap.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't ugly. It's not ugly. I take it back.
Bad. But it's not great.
It's not the best thing in the world, but I get it. Here's the thing,
It's better
Pittsburgh,
than the baby blue.
dude, so much better.
But I love Winnipeg's. It's not baby blue. It's like a little bit darker than that.
It's a nice tone. That's a nice, and it says Jets on it.
Yeah, it's just simple.
Just
I didn't like it at first when I first saw it on social media, but I watched them the other night and I'm like,
that's like the third
just
time I've
pops.
seen it, dude. That's the third time
it's
I've
so
seen
much
it.
better than those dark navy blue jerseys that they wear at home.
I don't know.
I don't hate them, but I think the blue just shows up more.
It's a nice look. I like it. I've seen them wear it 3 times now. I'm about it.
Phoenix.
Like
Going
that.
back to the 90s jerseys.
I like that one, and I like what we talked about it. The wolf,
Yeah, that third jersey with more red on it.
a little more red. You can maybe throw if you had just
Which
the
those are
wolf.
the black jerseys
Yeah.
too.
You have the black, and again, I really hate black jerseys because I don't think you can really track the puck that well.
Yeah.
I don't mind Carolinas, but they have like the red design on them. I think if Phoenix added the kind of like their pattern on it that was just in red, that would look good.
With that red clay color.
Yeah, get that red clay. If you had the black with the wolf, right, a little wolf on the chest, and then kind of had like the bands of
Or
the,
maybe add it to like shoulders or
the
something.
yeah, have like the little pattern on your shoulders, your collar, your
That
sleeves.
little diamond pattern or something.
Yeah, do that. That would look real clean.
Yeah.
Dallas could do that silver look. Nashville, I don't know what Nashville would do.
Nashville
Nashville doesn't have one. Dallas doesn't have
It's
one.
like some of the southern teams don't. I know. I like the another black jersey, Tampa Bay.
Tampa,
I like the old school Tampa Bay, like the third jerseys they had like
Lightning
4 or 5
on.
years ago. That had the circle with the lightning bolt and it says Tampa Bay Lightning.
That's fine.
I don't like the blue ones as much. It just say bolts across
No,
the front.
that was okay. I like the ones where they had like the sleeves.
Yeah, the lightning
Sleeves
up the
go.
side,
Yeah, I like that.
and the pants that had the lightning going down the side.
I don't think Montreal, Toronto,
They just can't.
Calgary
It's original
can't.
6, Detroit.
Calgary,
Detroit. I like the Winter Classic jerseys with the old English.
yeah.
D. It was like kind of the new modern one. It was like white with the red English D, and they had like the stripe that went across it.
Oh, because it was based off of the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, it was like diagonal across.
Yeah, it
And
was.
then they had. I think they have silver in it somewhere,
They had silver last year.
and like silver gloves or something.
They
Which
had.
that's just for stadium series.
I think that was the Stadium Series in 100 years, but
Yeah.
that was nice.
Toronto, they changed it back to like a mix of the old and the modern. They can't really change those.
You can't. Again, you can't change Montreal. Maybe you could come out in a blue jersey.
Chicago, maybe.
Chicago, I don't know if you'd be able to change some of the original,
the original
sixes.
sixes are hard.
Hard.
Boston
has the
the
Bears.
Bears
They put the
That's
bear.
bad.
They put the bear. They have the bear face, or they say Bruins with the bear on top of it.
Yeah, and they had that old one that was like Boston, and it had the full bear with like the claws.
That was
It
not,
was bad.
dude. Less is more on that case. Yeah, Montreal could probably come out in a blue, but
Yeah.
that would throw it off.
Yeah, that's kind of. I was like, they're mostly like red and white, so like a full blue jersey would kind of
Would really,
throw it.
really throw it.
This reminds me of like Tampa Bay or somebody.
Toronto can't do anything.
Winnipeg, they're old school. Which I know they have the new their jerseys or whatever, but like the old ones that said Winnipeg Jets on them.
That's fine. Calgary. I don't know what Calgary could
I think
probably.
they just switched to red.
all red.
basically.
No,
that was their new kind of
all red.
wave thing.
They didn't have any black on the cufflink. No. You could maybe do black.
They
with,
had the old one that had like the horse head with the flames. coming
yeah,
out.
that's true.
It's all right.
But
Coyote just kind of classic too.
you could do black, like all black.
Oh, they did have one that had the cursive, like the Calgary Flames,
Yeah.
like, kind of like a baseball jersey.
Yeah, you could do that.
across there.
I'm thinking maybe black, and then you can get like a chrome red
Yeah.
for your seat. Get like a chrome red, like if you're red, and then like a chrome outline. You ever see TCU's or Texas Tech like chrome
Yeah,
red? Yeah,
yeah,
do
definitely.
that. If you have no idea what we're talking about, you can look it up.
It's not like plain red. It's kind of like it has a shininess.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. Add some chrome into it. Maybe do like a chrome blue if you're Toronto.
Yeah.
Like,
Something like an outline or something.
yeah, get like some silver,
That white leaf.
a white leaf
Chrome
with like
blue.
chrome blue and a little silver outlining. It would look sharp. I don't know how you would be able to print all that,
Yeah.
but like the North America jerseys, like they added a little bit
Those
of
were
chrome.
awesome.
Yeah.
I liked them.
They had some chrome on
They
it.
kind of had like that grayish black, sort of, with the like super bright orange. But like not a super bright, kind of like a darker orange.
Dark, bright orange, yeah. And I think Anaheim definitely could start doing more orange shirt. I don't mind their orange. It's that black and orange. I'm like, dude, just
Yeah, it's just kind of just
yeah.
you don't. It doesn't really show up.
I'm thinking Las Vegas could do something. I think Las Vegas,
I keep coming back to it.
you gotta go gold
I think they should get rid of the red
on the sleeve.
on the sleeves. It kind of like the gold, silver, and the black. I'm like, but the red kind of just throws it off a little bit to me.
Reds are like cards.
But I think they should go to like black, silver, and gold.
I think if you were to just do gold, like if you're gonna go,
Like their third jersey for home could be like black with a bunch of like that dust gold outline
You could.
around their logo or something like that.
or just come out in a gold jersey.
Oh, like
Just do it.
Furry's pads.
Yeah, just straight gold jersey. It.
I wouldn't mind that. Test it out.
Look, let's make it look. Because
It's the Golden Knights. It's Vegas.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
gold, man.
you do it. I would be okay with that.
Stay golden.
It has to
There's
look
your
good.
motto. You can
You
use
came
that
out
for
with
free.
look. I thought what is it? Chance, the little dragon or whatever. I thought that thing was
Creepy.
creepy as hell. And then pretty
Not
sure,
as bad as Gritty.
yeah, and Gritty comes out, and I was just
Oh my God.
like, dude, someone was like a Muppet on cocaine, and I was like,
That's like Victor E. Green's meth head cousin.
yeah, I was like, that is completely fair. No doubt, that's completely fair. But the Philly black, didn't they have that bright neon orange one
Yeah,
yet? And
that
that
was-
was crap.
And like their spoke wheel like wing or whatever that's kind of like not kind of like Detroit's, but their version of their wing or whatever was kind of like just plain. It was like just outline in black and white. And I'm like,
That's crap. This year's
it's
jerseys
not
are good.
plain. But like this year's are good, and then their orange just Philly's classic. But those black jerseys,
Pittsburgh, here,
when the arena's full of orange and they're wearing black, it kind of stands out more.
that's the look.
Yeah.
I like it. I know everyone's like, 12 times. The Jets, I like that. I like that blue. I know you can't mess with the logo.
I do like the baby blue for St. Louis in the Stadium Series. Those were nice with like that bright yellow kind of.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop. It looked better than the normal ones. Does St. Louis have a third jersey this year?
I don't think so. I think that's been there. I don't think they had one last year because Adidas is like, we're not doing any in our first year.
That's fair.
But I don't think they're wearing them this year either.
I thought they had a navy blue, like the top of the
Yeah,
shoulder.
kinda like a little
na-
bit darker blue.
and then it was just a circle, like Columbus. And then
Oh yeah, it had the
that thing
arch.
looked ugly.
Had the arch on it.
Ugly as hell.
That dark blue is not. I like their blue pops, like their old blue from like the 90s.
That one pops.
That one was nice.
Bring that one back.
With the yellow and black.
Columbus could continue to be navy.
Yeah.
They have
old
the
school with like the CBJ with like the B on it.
dude,
It's
that looked ugly as hell to me.
crazy.
Dude, put the cannon on it.
Oh yeah, they had that for their third jersey.
Yeah,
The Columbus Blue Jackets and then the cannon right in the middle.
about it.
But it was like a dark blue, and then their trim was like baby blue.
Get rid of the
It
baby
was
blue.
weird. I go with the red,
Yeah,
and white, because you're red, white, and blue. It's
Yeah.
Columbus.
red, white, got red pants,
Or
looking
you could,
stylish.
I think they did a couple of years ago or 10 years ago, something like that, where they had the flag. It kind of has that. It's kind of like the Japan flag, but then it has the red triangle with the stars and different things like that. It was something different.
I like the different, but again, LA. black and that home plate. Get rid of the home plate. Get your crown back.
Yeah.
Do a little more purple. I think it would be accepted.
Oh yeah, purple and silver.
Get a little purple.
Maybe make
black.
like they did in Stadium Series. Do like a silver jersey with a purple crown.
I was
like
about
purple
that.
and silver crown.
But they came out in those white gloves, dude. Do that.
Yeah, white
Do that.
jerseys with white pants and white gloves.
All about it.
Just add some purple.
It'd be good.
That's all I'm saying. It's like shy away from the black and white.
Shy away from
Something.
it. Make it look different.
Be creative, people. Come on.
Dallas needs a third jersey. Speaking of other trends, I'm all about these team celebration trends. We'll add this in real quickly and then we can wrap up. Team celebration trends, man.
Carolina.
All in on it. Do it.
I think Carolina's the only one doing it.
Do it. Everyone else needs to do
comes
it.
to center ice.
Yeah, center ice, you get your little salute, right?
Carolina, they just get everybody into it.
Dude, if Dallas kind of did a little line dance,
Get them on the blue line, man.
dude, nothing is more Texan than a little line dancing.
Little two-step.
Little two-step going, little cross, like
Something.
a little bow and then a little dip. Dude, I'm telling you, just do it. Nashville. Maybe air guitar it.
I think Subban and him, they had their own like personal.
Yeah, everyone has their own
They do,
personal
like
stuff.
high fives or something like that. And Subban was dancing the other night. I'm like, just something. Carolina is like, maybe they're the ones that are setting the trend.
I'm about it.
NFL, obviously, when they score goals, wow.
Yeah.
Get touchdowns or whatever, they have their own
Celebrations, yeah.
pre-planned celebrations and stuff like
Team
that.
celebrations. I think it really increases
Can't
team
really-
bonding.
You can do it after a win. You can't do it after goals in the NHL.
No, no goals.
obviously.
Only after wins.
But ask Anisimov when he's
Dude.
shooting down whoever that was that he scored on.
Post-game celebrations only.
Oh, I'm all about it.
All about it.
Have fun.
At home. You get 41 chances to do it.
Yeah. If your team's like Winnipeg or Nashville, where you're winning like 30+ home games a year,
Do
and
it.
you get to celebrate every time after that.
Do it. I think the Carolina went on the road in New York and did it too.
Oh, I'm all for doing it on the. Subban did that too. He got second star in the game on the road, and he came out and celebrated. And I'm like, oh yeah,
Add to the story
I'm all
plot.
about it.
Dude, add to the story plot. I'm about that too.
I
Plan
think
your-
Gallagher did that in Boston
Plan
or
your-
something like
yeah.
that. He got second star and came back out, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna hate him even more.
Plan your celebrations. Come out on third stars.
Don't forget your game plan, but practice your celebrations.
Because right now, and here's the other thing. Everyone's doing axe throwing. If you haven't noticed,
Yeah, it's a good hipster trend.
yeah. Washington
Axe
did
throwing
it. Yeah.
Places.
Washington did it.
I
Who
think they have a place in Dallas somewhere where you can go and do it.
looks like we're gonna go axe throwing over the summer.
No, I'm down.
I'm not doing it in the winter.
No,
Yeah.
it's cold.
Dude,
I mean, not in Dallas, but
you would have to wear plaid, and then you get your little plaid jacket on, and it'll be like, suit. Like, look,
like a
I'm
full
not.
90s grunge to go
I'm
axe
not.
throwing.
Yeah, I'm not about to just. What is it? Wolverine come out there and just. Oh, I got a leather jacket on. It's heavy. Just warm up the shoulder
I'm
and.
just testing it out. I just want to have fun.
I want to do. That would be so much fun. We could do that. It'd be like a little podcast team building exercise.
Oh yeah, we'll go on. We'll compete with the fans. Axe throwing competition.
If we get enough fans, I'll do it. You know what? We get enough fans.
We build it up. Maybe you win a merch if we get to that point.
If we get merchandise and we get the ability to be able to travel, and you get a little local area, get a nice little local area, we'll go axe throwing with you.
Oh yeah.
You know what? We might even find a high tower because we've been watching How Ridiculous.
Dropping stuff off the top.
We'll drop watermelons and axes off a high tower with you.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Maybe we'll do like they did with the giant dart. Maybe we'll take some hockey sticks, sharpen the end of the
Get all the broken
top
sticks.
of them.
Yeah, get all the broken sticks. I'm about it.
Put some watermelons at the bottom. We're sending them through like spikes.
They went through like reams of paper.
Yeah.
They did all this other stuff.
Just have some fun with it.
I would do it. I'm all about it. But yeah, we'll go axe throwing with you. I think we should go axe throwing in general.
Yeah.
I don't know if your mom's going to listen to
For the
this.
experience.
I don't think your mom's going to listen to this and be like, you guys are going to go axe throwing? I don't think she's on board.
It's like it's a thing.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm
It's
just
an
saying.
activity.
She'd be like, wait, so you two are going to go axe
We're not
throwing?
going in the woods.
I think we would be going in the woods.
No, they have places now where you go inside. There's like cage.
It's like a
chain
shooting
link fence
range.
on the side, kind of like a shooting
Shooting
like we
range.
did at the draft or whatever. But they have like dartboards in the middle, and you just go over the top, and it stays in the. You're like split.
Yeah.
There's like two cages on each side, and you throw them.
Let's do it.
So there's no chance of it going off and hitting to the side or something.
Who was Carolina?
Controlled chaos.
San Jose did it.
Yeah, with Burns.
San Jose went axe throwing. Washington went axe throwing.
Team bonding.
Dude, it's team bonding. It's a trend. I'm about it. Let's do it. Let's go axe throwing. This team right here, axe throwing.
This two-man team.
We're going to come back and we're going to count off all of our fingers and toes.
And I hope I have all 12. It's crazy.
All right. Well, I think that's about it. You got anything else you want to add? I'm not going to do.
Come on, Canes.
Come on, Canes. Dude, I'm telling you, they've been rocking me like a hurricane. And I knew the storm was coming.
Thought hurricane season was over.
Hurricane season is going to go
It's in full
long.
effect.
Yeah, it's going to last till about March.
It's going until June.
June, yeah. It's going until
For the
June.
people in Carolina, they want it to last into June.
I was surprised they flooded, but yeah, I'm about it. I'm all about it.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Canes.
It could be like the Houston with the World Series last year. They had that major hurricane, and then Carolina has that major hurricane this year. The team builds it up. They're built for a championship.
Everybody wants a piece of the hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, axe throwing, team celebrations. Carolina's got it
Can't go
all.
wrong.
Yeah, barbecue, axe throwing.
Carolina's got it all.
Dude, Carolina is rocking it.
Oh, yeah.
Got some weird laws out there
Been building for a while.
about it.
Trying to get back to that Stanley Cup final.
They were slowly doing. I'm telling you, Jack Adams, Coach of the Year award right there.
Hey, it could happen.
Good. All
I
right.
apologize for when I said Paul Maurice like 2.5 hours ago.
2.5 and video
He
two.
was there when they won the cup, I believe.
2000.
I know he was there a while ago. Because whenever I think of like a coach I just think of Paul Maurice. I forget that he's with the Jets now. But Rod Brindamore, I mean,
About it.
Stanley Cup champ.
I thought New York Islanders still had Halak
Yeah.
in our first video, and they moved him to Boston.
Oh yeah, I forgot he went to Boston because Tuca got injured for a little while, didn't he?
Tuca
And he filled in.
Tuca
Struggled.
laid a touchdown.
But now he's like in the top 25, I think. Or
Tuca?
top 10 in the fantasy rank or
Realm.
riders rankings. They're Power 16.
The Power 16 are
It's-
so funky.
It's
I think you're basing it off
it's
of week
not
to
an
week to play.
exact science.
Dude, I think you're basing it off week to week. You know
Yeah.
what? At some point, you
Give
know
me
what?
like a monthly power ranking.
It's a weekly.
I know. I'm just saying, give me a monthly one.
Oh, you want a monthly
I can't
one?
really gauge a team in a week.
You want a month? If we did a month, I would pretty much just pick the top 16
Yeah.
teams.
It's like, all right, who we got in the playoff spots right now?
I think we could do a week. You know what? Maybe next season, or the season after that, depending on how long we go, maybe we'll do power rankings.
Yeah.
If we get big enough, and this becomes consistent enough to where we can do it, let's do some power rankings.
Maybe later on we'll give you your dark horses, players to watch.
That's a
Something
lot of
like
research. If we get
I know.
if we get manpower, right now it's
Yeah.
two dudes in a
that.
room.
It's hard. We can only watch so much hockey.
I know.
Even highlights, they don't give you the full story of the game.
Oh, dude, I try.
That's what's so difficult. You
I
can't
wa-
get a full game in 4 or 5 minutes.
I usually try to watch a period each of stuff, unless of course it's a really good game. I try to watch about this.
I watch
that.
the marquee matchups on it, but then there's some like I want to see certain matchups that aren't on TV.
Dude, I watch the ones that I like, but do you
I think I pick which ones I think is going to be a good game.
do you not watch the NHL app still?
I do
Yeah,
sometimes. That like the first week, of course, of the season, like opening nights and stuff. I'm like, they got a doubleheader on NBCSN. Plus, I'm watching 1 to 2 games on my phone.
yeah.
But then once it gets later on in the season, games kind of get spread out.
One of the
a little
best,
bit more.
best purchases is the Rogers app or whatever it is.
Yeah,
'Cause I watch whatever.
I tried that the other night, the Xbox 360, and it no longer is. The NHL is no longer supported on Xbox 360.
Dude, shame. I got an Amazon.
It was last year, and I'm like, "What happened, Rogers? Come on!"
First off, if we ever get ad space, and Amazon wants a plug, which I don't think Amazon needs a plug, everything pretty much came off of Amazon.
Yeah. Thanks.
Except for the laptop, the camera, the
And
camera
the
stand,
paper.
yeah,
the paper.
the phones, the mouse didn't. Pretty much like all of these pops, Amazon microphones, Amazon. These are actually says Amazon cords on it. You can look. It says Amazon on the outside.
Nice plug.
Nice connection cord, like
Easy now.
the mixer that Amazon. Everything came pretty much off of Amazon. But I bought an Amazon Fire Stick. Best $46 I spent.
Oh yeah.
Plug it into your HDMI. Runs off your Wi-Fi, and then I pay $25 for cable. And then it downloads the app. The only app that's not working is ESPN. And I'm like, not missing it. Because I think ESPN's going down the toilet, which gives us the market.
Thanks for firing your NHL writers there.
The only people we're really concerned
right
about
before the playoffs
are the people up in Boston.
real big shout out, which the Athletic's taking over now. So
yeah.
I heard that on another podcast today. They're like, no, go ahead, fire all these writers. They're moving over to the Athletic anyways. Each city is basically getting their own athletic division.
Yeah, it's a new...
For writers, because there's no ads. This sounds like an advertisement for the Athletic. But I'm like, but they're scooping up all the writers at ESPN and other places. Let go. So.
But now I think it's more fun to do your own thing. And now we have the opportunity to do our own thing.
Oh, yeah.
But Amazon, you want to plug.
Build your brand.
This is us. This is Fresh Ice right here.
The freshest.
The freshest. We're trying to keep it fresh. Maybe we should lead with that.
Probably. Probably.
We'll get better.
Hey, we're giving you quality content. We'll work on the intros and outros.
We have an intro.
Yeah.
Both of us hate it.
Yeah, it's just we stumble into the topics basically.
We're more worried about interesting stories and ranking and giving you our opinions,
which bring it back,
which may or may not matter to you, and that's fine.
You get a little story.
You get a little story, and you get a little rant, and you get a little tangent, and this is supposed to be an outro, but instead you get this little story. And
you gotta stick around for the golden nugget at the end.
Yeah, we'll start making contests or something. Something. We'll figure out something to give you a reward.
Or maybe we'll get to the point where we're answering questions at some point.
Dude, I'd love to do a little Q&A. I don't like...
Spend the last little 10, 15 minutes or something.
No, do a whole video of a Q&A.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
So I go through emails or social media or something.
I want to do a whole Q&A.
Probably easier on social media. I don't think people...
Dude, tweet at us. You can tweet at us.
Don't email me. Do email me, but like...
No, we have the Fresh Ice account.
Yeah.
You can email us. Fresh Ice.
We have that specific account, so it's not going all over the place.
Big brain over here.
This guy right here.
Making sure no one finds us personally.
Don't find us.
Don't find us. We want to connect with you.
We want you to listen. We want to connect, but don't find us.
But, like, my own personal Instagram is kind of dead. My own personal Twitter, I tweet one thing once a day, and it's not even my own words.
Twitter's my biggest thing.
Twitter's his.
Yeah.
But you can ask us questions off our Twitter account that's linked to the YouTube channel. You can comment questions. We'll read them.
Like Fresh Ice 200?
Fresh Ice 200. It'll be in the description. Down below. Below.
Oh, yeah.
But we're working on it. We're working on becoming more 21st century millennials. I know that's a weird... Because everyone's like, oh, aren't you? No, I'm not on Twitter. I barely use Snapchat.
I never use Snapchat.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. We get 10,000 likes or 10,000 subscribers and 1,000 likes. We'll create a Snapchat account and we'll just create a Snapchat story of how we prep stuff.
I'm so behind that I didn't get on Facebook till like 2013. Not until I got out. Like everybody, like now these days in high school and stuff like that, are on social media. I'm like, I didn't get on social media until I was out of high school because there was no point.
Yeah,
like high school. I'm not saying enjoy your high school years. It's probably the best years you'll have of your life for some people, but it doesn't.
Dude, if high school's sucking now, just wait till you get
older.
What
are you doing?
Yeah, no, if it's sucking now, just wait till you get older because it gets so much better.
Oh yeah.
Here's my thing.
Go to college.
Go to college. You know what? That's a different topic.
An affordable college. Another topic for another time.
Another topic for another time.
Maybe we'll talk college hockey. I don't watch that much college hockey.
I don't either.
So I don't know the rankings that well.
I don't know college hockey that well.
Go BC.
Go BC. But I'm telling you, we get big enough, we'll tell you guys stories in the summer. We'll create a different channel. We won't just talk hockey.
Oh, which I know I've heard of one. I can't remember the name of it at this point. But Beer League podcast. Talk about beer league stories.
That'd be fun. We're not old enough to do that yet. You don't drink.
Doesn't mean I can't talk about it.
Dude,
we're still playing beer league. Come on.
I'm trying to think of
fun stories.
Trying to think of that one guy's name.
Oh, there's so many legends from the Parks Mall in Arlington.
The older one that always hated Lewis.
I can't remember his name.
I can
never remember his name. He was a fireman, wasn't he? I think a bunch of them were
firemen. I can remember what he looks like.
A lot of beer league players are firemen, and police officers.
Yeah, I can remember what he sounds like, and I
remember
can remember his face, but I can't remember his name.
But he was a legend.
Dude, my favorite person, Lewis. Oh, you know, we'll leave you with some advice. Just keep your
head up and keep skating.
Take some skating lessons, and that's how we're going to end this right now. That's a perfect outro.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. We're done. We're out of here.